40th place.
Oh, he crashed?
I don't know.
Or are you looking at the points there?
I was looking at the points. Oh, 40 points.
That means he's leading the race.
Oh.
Alright, and hey guys, welcome to the stream. We're here. I'm going to be joined by my dad here, and we are here for the broadcast of the YellaWood 500 here from the Talladega the Talladega Superspeedway. Got off work late, so and race started oddly abrupt. So there we go. We got the broadcast up going, and I'm going to work on the leaderboard. Hey, Toby Co, how's it going? All right, you want to take the lead while I get the leaderboard up, because the leaderboard's still set up for when I'm sitting in the middle.
Absolutely.
Two of us.
So William Byron just takes over second place from Austin Dillon. So it sits right, and Austin Dillon's back in front of Byron. So right now it says Logano, Dillon, Byron, Blaney, and Truex are your top 5.
And that will be changing all day long.
That will be changing all day long, so I won't go with every change.
Yeah, right now William Byron gets alongside Joey Logano. He's got some momentum behind him. He might be able to take the lead here. Challenge for the lead. For the first time since we turned on the broadcast, at least. So far, it looks like Logano trying to defend 3 lines at once. Very hard to pull that off, unless you're Ryan Newman.
Now it looks like Logano's got the momentum in his favor. This would be the first time I didn't put Byron in my lineup.
Well, yeah, of course. That makes total sense. Why, the second you don't put him in your lineup, he does well.
That is usually a good sign for you to put him in your lineup.
Which you would have known if you'd have watched Fantasy Friday on Friday. Alright, so...
And you'd have also known Eric Jones would have been in 3rd place right now.
And he's got Ricky Bobby there and behind him. Driving that number 41 car. And by Ricky Bobby, I do mean Ryan Preece. Throwing it back to Ricky Bobby, and Cal Naughton Jr. is the 14 car of Briscoe, driving currently in 18th place, roughly. So, yeah, I'm still getting everything set up because... Yep.
Because work.
Yep. Because work didn't want to work.
That amazing job requirement.
Yeah, you know that amazing thing where you kind of want to live? You want to be able to afford to live?
That's right, you only have to work when you want to eat.
Yep. Alright, trying to figure out. That should hopefully be large enough, so... Oh. Uh-oh. Okay.
Well, I still want to know if we've had any wrecks so far.
We haven't. I'm going to say, I mentioned before the stream, everybody's still on lead lap, so hard to have a crash and everybody's still on lead lap. Yeah, that's that would be pretty impressive if they did manage to pull that one off.
So 19 laps in and no crashes.
And you just jinxed us for sure. So, trying to...
So as a reminder, my fantasy lineup, I've got Logano, Busch, Bubba, Eric Jones, Ryan Blaney, and Chris Buescher right now is in my garage. And my bottom half of the fantasy lineup looks terrible. I've got Blaney over Kyle Busch, and that's my only one that I picked the right way so far. And we are on a break from the network TV, so
we can't see the broadcast.
We can't see the broadcast. All we can see is
your comments.
You. So, what do you have for us?
I'm going to say, Austin Dillon and Austin Cindric both being up there is a little bit surprising, seeing both of them up in the top 10.
But Eric Jones isn't?
Not overly. Not at this track, at least.
Ryan Preece isn't?
I made mention of them both in my part of Fantasy Friday. Man, this is all over the place because I was trying to rush and didn't do it right. There we go.
Do we have chat comments anywhere?
Um,
You can see.
yeah, I'm filtering between them, but nothing's there right now. But yep. Just trying to get this to show the top 10 at least, because that's what I normally do. Normally I have it on the side, but there isn't really a blank side on the stream.
I could move over and pretend like I liked you.
No, we wouldn't. We'd have to get way too close. Because, usually I have the entire side of it to fill in. Let's see, 4 through 6.
I've never looked better.
And we're back from commercial break. 23 of 60 laps here in stage number 1.
Looks like. Is that the 41 in first place?
Yeah, that is the 41 of Ryan Preece, who has taken the lead. Leaderboard right here if you need it.
That's what I was looking for.
Yep. Yeah, this updates at the end of each lap, so it might not be perfectly accurate, but especially at this track where lead changes happen multiple times a lap.
So as it looks like, Ryan Preece, followed by Joey Logano, followed by Austin Dillon, William Byron, and Blaney make up your top 5. Truex, Reddick, Eric Jones, Larson, and Bubba Wallace make up your 6 through 10. The bottom line looks like it's pretty strong right now.
Yeah, bottom line at Talladega usually is pretty good. Alright, this should be the last bit here. There we go. Yeah, so, almost done with the leaderboard, guys. And we actually are going to have more spots on the leaderboard than we normally focus on.
So as it stands right now, we have 5 Fords and 5 Chevys in the top 10. First Toyota is Martin Truex in 11th.
Oh, okay, so that's the bottom of the screen, so that's as low as we can go for placements without rescaling the screen and starting over. So
Good thing I'm short.
Yep. Alright, so there we go. There's good enough leaderboard for now, but yeah, so Ryan Preece over Joey Logano, Austin Dillon. But yeah, those top lines starting to fade away a little bit here as Eric Jones and Martin Truex Jr., who are leading those outer 2 lines, are currently in 10th and 11th here. And the battle here, you got a lot of pushing going on, but just not a lot of momentum right now in those outer 2 lanes.
looks like the outside lane doesn't have enough people in it to really make a push here at Talladega.
Yeah, typically you need, and that's why typically it's 2 lanes that form, is the fact that you usually need close to half the field to work that top line, or at the very least the bottom line. Having more cars in either of the other 2 lanes certainly makes it a lot faster. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Logano and Priest potentially try and talk with maybe their other Ford teammates there, Almirola, Briscoe, and Blaney in the top 10 to try and drag this bottom line up to the top at some point. Doing that makes it a lot harder for drivers to gain momentum here. So if they can drag that line to the top of the racetrack as opposed to running single file around the bottom, they can kind of close off the options for people to pull out a line and make passes. So if they can do that successfully, that'd be what they'd want to do. Problem is, right now, Almirola is boxed in by that outside line still.
Blaney's sitting so close in 5th place, he probably doesn't want to pull out a line right now.
Well, he's got Stenhouse now on his door here, and that middle line's starting to gain a bit of momentum here as cars are pulling from the bottom
lanes into the middle.
Yeah, everybody trying to merge into that one lane there. Hey, Scotty, how's it going? Rooting for Alex Bowman once again? I've been telling you, I'm not sure that he's going to get a win this year.
I'm sorry, Scotty.
Yeah.
If we were looking for nice guy awards, I think Bowman might be up in that top 5. But
problem is he's contending with all 3 of his other teammates for that nice guy award. Well, maybe not Larson, but the other 3 or the other 2.
Yeah,
are both contending for that same award.
Larson's like the Chihuahua.
Yeah, so gets into it with teammates there.
And runs away.
Yep. Then you've got his off-the-track controversies from the last couple of years that led to his suspension
What are you
as
talking
well.
about? I don't know about any off-track.
You know the whole reason he was out for a year? Easter Sunday night, 2020?
Yeah, I kind of remember it.
Yeah, I think everybody remembers it, but yeah. So, and that's something that's going to loom around him the rest of his career, no matter how good he does. There will always be that note that follows him around. But here we go. So yeah, it's kind of falling into a little bit of lockstep right now. I think a lot of these drivers, especially if we hit lap 30, I would expect to maybe see one of these manufacturers potentially starting to make conversations about coming for fuel, because they can only go about 43 laps on fuel here at Talladega.
Yeah.
So, and with a 60 lap stage, a lot of the talk is about, do you try and go as far as you possibly can, or do you try and split the stage up in half to make the best use out of the tires? If you run late into the stage, like if you run till, say, lap 40, 43 and make your pit stop, you're getting gas only and you're taking tires at the stage break, that's how you make advantage of that. But Stenhouse and Eric Jones are making a charge here to the front of the field. They aren't looking for a pit stop, they're looking to take the lead.
Yeah, they've slowly been making momentum here.
And say the 3 lanes have now turned into 2, and there we go. Stenhouse off the top line as we get ready to go to commercial break. The 47 bread car goes to the lead. Impressed I was able to call that?
The bread car.
Yeah, he's got the Artisanal Sara Lee sponsorship.
Okay.
I know, because I shopped for a lot of that stuff earlier today at work.
As opposed to the Cash App car or whatever it is, the money lending car.
The Money Lion car.
Money Lion, there we go.
So, guys, how's the audio? Just so I can make sure. I'll make sure everything's all good.
Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down in the audio side out there in listener land.
Let me see if I'm going to pull up the broadcast on my phone real quick just to do a quick audio check.
Yeah.
But, yeah, right now we've got a again, it's going to become this 2-lane tandem here. But I would be shocked if we don't see the Fords maybe starting to group up for a pit stop. So here we go. Okay, so I tried to get the second mic working, so it was causing a double echo there. Because it's picking up our voices on both. I thought it might be perfectly synced, but it wasn't, so there we go. We should be good now. So there we go. And then I guess we can talk about some of the NFL games. I can go ahead and pull them up over here on the second screen.
Oh, I forgot all about that. I wonder how my fantasy's doing over there.
And say, at least you don't have to worry about your team getting kicked until... oh, come on. I say teams getting kicked. And the first game that pulls up is the Colts-Rams game, 20-0.
Didn't you say the Rams weren't going to get 40 points again today? Didn't you say something about the Rams not getting 40 points today?
I just said I thought it would be a close game, especially if Anthony Richardson played. But so far, he's 4 for 7 on only 47 passing yards. Yikes, not a very good day. He's also our leading rusher on the day. Are you kidding me?
Hey, how do you like this? Mom and I are 1-2 on the fantasy app for NASCAR.
Nice. So yeah, so 20-0 for the Colts Rams game. Rams lead as they get ready to start the third quarter.
We are back from break now. Stenhouse still in the lead. Priest in second. Oh, Priest takes the lead back on that lap.
And here we go. They're going to be...
Stenhouse is back in the lead.
Yeah, the drag race to the line. Going to see which one comes across the line. Stenhouse was the leader at the line last time by, and Eric Jones giving that big push once again here. Stenhouse going to lead at the line again. All right, let's see. Doom, boom. Look at that. Oop. And that just messed that up. I have to careful about this. Let's try and get this lined up perfectly, or as closely as I can. There we go.
My Jaguars beat Atlanta this morning.
Yeah, over in London.
Yep, 23-7. Trevor Lawrence still only got me 16.5 fantasy points, though. 207 yards passing with 1 TD pass.
The tower there. But yeah, here we go. Now Jones and Stenhouse have been able to move down in front of Ryan Priest there while we were checking on that Jaguars game from earlier this morning. But yeah, Bijan Robinson looked really good in that game though, from what I heard on the radio.
I didn't hear anything. Didn't have it on at church.
Yeah, I was working, so I had it going in my headset. But yeah, now, oh wow, Austin Cindric able to get down in front. That top line, everybody's able to make it work, and then they all pull down that inside line.
Well, I think the inside line is the preferred line, but I think it's the faster line. I think the middle line really got going when you had people ditching out of both the top and the bottom line and going into the middle line.
When it became 2 lanes.
Yeah.
Ty Dillon up there in the top 5. There's a name we haven't talked much about this year.
And Austin Cindric.
Yeah. So, another reason why we might see a lot of people trying to get to that bottom line here is you kind of don't want to be pitting from the second or third lane at Talladega. People have tried it. Not many have been successful.
Do we have anyone pitting now?
No one's on pit road as of yet.
I'm just looking.
But we're getting close to that number.
I don't usually expect to see a lineup of Stenhouse, Jones, Dillon, Cindric. at the top unless there's pitting going on.
Yeah, no, that's just
And now Haley up in the top 5.
yeah, that's top. Justin Haley's one of the best super speedway racers from the Xfinity series. He's now up in the Cup Series. He's actually got a Cup win at a plate track too.
My boy Gibbs up into 8th place now.
Yeah, my boy there, Kyle Busch, driving that number 8 car. He's up to 12th here in line. But again, I think we're probably about 1 or 2 laps away from seeing guys pulled out of the pits. And here we go, Ty Dillon taking the lead in the number 77 car, trying to prove that he deserves a spot somewhere in the Cup Series next year. And here we go. What did I say? We were about a lap away. And we've got a bunch of the Fords coming to pit road. Cindric, Logano, and many more Fords coming on to pit road. Ryan Preece. Not sure what some of these other unfamiliar paint schemes. I saw Blaney. I saw the.
I was just looking for the
78 car as well.
I was just looking for the horse on the front.
Yeah, that the Ford grill pattern is pretty iconic.
It is. Makes it easily spottable.
But yeah, now you've got a mixed group of Chevy and Toyota that are going to try and work together probably on the pit road, because Ford is one of the most coordinated manufacturers. Yeah, and usually Chevy and Toyota have to work together to try and make it happen. I would expect to see so you might see another batch here. Yep, there's another batch of Chevy. Looks like mostly Chevy. Not sure if I see a Toyota there. No, I think this one might be entirely Chevy. I see Haley, Byron, Stenhouse, Jones, Kyle Busch, Stenhouse, Kyle Larson, Austin Dillon, Chase Elliott, and Daniel Suarez. And these ones are doing just gas and goes. Pretty much everybody, I think, did gas and goes here because they did wait till lap 40 as opposed to pitting at 30. So, yeah, gas and goes there. Chastain done in 5.1 seconds. Busch was done in 4.6, and here they all go. Alex Bowman also on pit road there. And there we go. All right, so right now, Ty Dillon coming down to pit road with not much help here. I mean...
Yeah, for the leader to come down with nobody there.
Yeah, he must have thought there were going to be more people coming to pit road. I mean, less people on pit road, you can carry a little bit more speed because you aren't having to worry about running into as many people or potential stack-ups. But, I don't know, that does not seem like a very sound strategy here to be pitting with, like, 4 cars. Allmendinger, Chandler Smith, and J.J. Yaley, the other drivers who made pit stops that time by. A lot of Toyotas still on the racetrack. In fact...
All Toyotas in the top 6.
Yeah, 6 for 6. They've got 6 Toyotas in the race, 6 Toyotas in the top 6. So, I would anticipate they are going to try and coordinate a pit stop here once they can all get everybody on that inside line together. And, oh, yeah, there they are. There comes the Toyota rush. Bell, Gibbs, Truex, Reddick, Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Todd Gilliland, Carson Hocevar, Corey LaJoie, Riley Herbst, Michael McDowell, all hitting pit road here. I believe that is everybody else on the track. And here is that mega pack that is forming.
Did Allmendinger come down?
Yeah, he was part of that small group with Ty Dillon.
He was, okay.
Yeah, he spent 3.9 seconds on pit road getting fuel. And now that Ford group is starting to try and envelop the second group of Chevys, and these Toyotas are going to absolutely get smoked here. That pack is way too big and way too formed up here. So the Toyotas are going to fall to the back here.
Got a single bow tie in the middle of the 6 Toyotas.
You got a bow tie leading it. Yeah, back in the Toyota pack. Yeah, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. though out in front.
Yep,
looking like I might get some good points out of that.
Yes, because the next 140 laps aren't going to have anything to say about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Spinning around a few times.
Hey, locking in 10 points is pretty good. I mean,
I agree.
If you can lock in 10 points here now, although here we go, those Penske cars making the move around.
Yeah.
Around Stenhouse.
It looked like he was sitting still right there.
Yeah, that's what happens when you got teammates that'll work with you. And Stenhouse driving for a single car team. Did they really just go to commercial break with 15?
With 15 to go,
in the middle of a battle for the lead.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, man, that's a bummer. But yeah, man. So Cindric takes the lead with help from Ryan Blaney. But there's a lot of Chevys in that front pack. I thought the Ford pack had came out in front, but no, the Chevy pack actually ended up winning out the day there, aside from Cindric and Blaney. But yeah, Stenhouse, Byron, Busch, Larson, Haley. I mean, a lot of people up in that top 10 or so are Chevys. I think there's a total of what, 3 Fords in the top 10 there?
3 Fords in the top 10, and the rest are all bow ties.
Yep, because all the Toyotas are probably all the way at the back here.
Well, they pitted last, so.
Yeah, but it'll all get evened out when the caution.
Right.
They know that they're not going to cycle back around, because that's usually the benefit to pitting last, is that it'll eventually cycle back around. All right. Just looking at some of the other NFL scores. Ravens Browns at halftime. Ravens leading that game 21-3. Vikings Panthers in one of the 2 Tank Bowl games that we've got going on today. The 0-3 teams. It's 7-13. Panthers leading over the Vikings. So
that's the only thing I have going for me in fantasy is my opponent this week is running Bryce Young is a quarterback. So
yeah, and 4th and 8 now for the Vikings, so they're going to be punting that thing away as well. Let's see, are you kidding me? The Broncos game, the other Tank Bowl, Chicago is leading that thing
21-7.
I mean, I thought it was kind of a statement that the Vegas odds had Denver as the favorites after getting 70 put up on them last week. They were still the favorites. I thought that was strange, but
I did drop my Denver defense this week from my fantasy team. I didn't even pick anything else up, and I thought that was an upgrade.
Yeah, I'll trade that for nothing.
Yeah.
The Titans have put up 24-3 on the Bengals.
What is going on with the Bengals this year?
Yeah, what is wrong with Cincinnati? Did like their deal with the devil end up running out on them? Did they
re-sign everybody? Is that the problem?
No.
Sign them to long-term contracts or anything?
Burrow's contract isn't up for another year or two. This offseason, they'll use the 5th-year extension, and they'll have 2 more years of Burrow. 3 more years of Jamar, I believe. Again, assuming that they use the 5th-year extension, because they're both first-rounders.
So Cindric's moved into the lead, with Blaney following him, Stenhouse in 3rd, Byron in 4th, and Busch rounding out your top 5.
Yeah, and Kyle Busch and Stenhouse currently leading that outer lane here. Gonna try and get some kind of momentum going, but right now they're kind of going backwards at the moment, which is not exactly the way you want to be doing this. That Dolphins-Bills game, it looks like a pretty good one, though. 31-14.
That's the car that I was looking at. That I was trying to figure out what the sponsor was. That one with a big X on it.
Yep, that's Kyle Busch.
What is it? What's the sponsor?
It's some sort of, I think it's a crypto wallet or something.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a billion of those things around at this point. But, yeah. Maybe when he stops on pit road under the caution, we'll get a better look at the car. But right now, showing the points as they run, Kyle Busch and Bell fighting for that. Kyle Busch, Bell, Keselowski, Truex, all fighting for that spot in the top 8 here.
Of the playoff bubble.
Yeah, for the playoff points there. Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick both looking like they're going to need some better days than what they're having, although I'm assuming because they're Toyotas, they're all the way at the back, which is also why Bell and Truex are down here. They will probably both jump way up to the top as soon as kind of everything hopefully cycles out for them. And Stenhouse able to retake the lead there from the top line.
And dropped down to the bottom and went back to the top.
Yeah, starting to try and work both lanes, but he ends up letting Cindric and Blaney get that push to the inside here.
He was so worried about getting back on that top line, and
Working with the Chevy teammates, he ends up letting those Fords power back to the inside. Although he's got a good enough run, he might be able to start blocking the bottom line again. Nope, there we go. Those two Fords able to lock bumpers here. Unlike yesterday in the Truck Series, that is legal here. You can lock the bumpers as long as you want, as long as your car doesn't overheat. And they're coming up on Eric Jones to lap him. Eric Jones about to go a lap down here. 11 laps to go in stage number 1. I will say the first, like that first half of the stage went really quick. I know we only tuned in about a quarter of the way through it, but feels like from 15 to go, it really slowed down here. But here we go.
why do we look frozen there?
Because I paused it for the frame rate stuff.
Okay,
Yep.
that's fine. I don't care.
So.
As long as I know.
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't die on screen and didn't know it.
Yeah, no. But, yeah, this battle, though, between the two lines, it's kind of a 4-car breakaway in both the top and the bottom line. There's a bit of a gap between row 4 and 5 there. Cindric looking like he might want to try and move up here, and we're getting ready for another commercial break here with 10 laps to go.
Well, they did make 5 laps this time.
Before going back to another commercial break. And at least it's side by side. That's the biggest thing. And Eric Jones is the first driver to go down a lap.
And where is he? In my lineup.
And 38th place. Now, granted, he hasn't crashed or anything. And we've had 13 official lead changes so far. I think most everybody would argue that lead changes is a hard stat to track at this track. The official lead change number only counts if the lead changed from line to line. So the lead could change 14 times, but if the same guy ends up leading at the line both times, 0 lead changes get recorded. But 13 so far, that's pretty good pacing here. But yeah. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at my fantasy lineup, see if I need to move my garage guy in.
Well, you're in 3rd place, so I think you're pretty good.
Okay. You went and, did you take a page out the Broncos book and start tanking?
Well, I might have.
You realize there's no number 1 overall pick to get in this.
You do realize you mentioned Eric Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's in my lineup, so.
Yep. All right.
Now he's not. Now he's in my garage, but this thing doesn't. Now I'm back up there.
And then I'll go and log in and move him back into your lineup.
We're in 3, 4, and 5.
Oh yeah, I got Joey Logano. He is my worst performer right now, and he's my garage guy. So
you, your mother, and me.
Oh, forgetting to do the bottom's gonna hurt my bottom line. Although, granted, I usually get those wrong anyway, so it doesn't really hurt me.
It's a good thing. Good way to plan.
Yep. So, looking through a couple of the other games, Buccaneers are leading the Saints 14-3 here in the third quarter of that game. Saints have the ball though. And Commanders Eagles is surprisingly close, 17-13 there.
Commanders.
Yeah, Commanders leading in the third quarter.
Haven't the Eagles lost the first half of every game this season so far?
I don't think they lost the first half of the Buccaneers game on Monday Night Football.
Okay.
Last week.
Because they lost to the Patriots
in the first half.
First half, came back.
But yeah, that's what. Now the thing is, the last time the Eagles were undefeated and ran into the Commanders last year, the Commanders were what ended their winning streak. And we're back from commercial break.
Did you see that Bills-Dolphins game?
Yeah, I mentioned that at the last commercial break we had.
Oh, I don't pay attention to you.
Yeah, 31-16 there at halftime. And I say Steelers getting shut out by the Texans right now. So, yeah, some pretty good games there over there in the NFL. Although I think we got the best game going on right now. We got the game of who can pass the leader. Short answer: everybody can pass the leader.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah, game of leapfrog here. Here we go. Let's see.
Matter of fact, there we go. Stenhouse takes the lead back from Cindric.
Yep. Is he going to be able to get clear, though? That's always kind of the biggest thing. Can he get clear and start working both lanes the way that Dale Jr. would back in the day? Because that's how Dale Jr. got his nickname, the Pied Piper, being able to control multiple lanes here at Talladega. Winning 4 straight races at this track, actually, back in the early 2000s. So, yeah, it was a really hard place to win at if you weren't named Dale Jr. But 5 laps to go here in stage number 1. And that battle around the cut line, it is very tight from 3rd all the way down to 11th here, I would say. And honestly, this track is so volatile when it comes to points. I'd almost say it isn't even really worth looking at until the final stage.
No.
Like, lock in what points you can get, which is why I was pointing out Stenhouse potentially locking in some fantasy points for me early. That way, if there is a crash that wipes out all my guys, like usual.
Did you just say do your best?
Hmm?
Is that what you're saying? Do your best?
Yeah.
That's what they should be doing today?
Well, lock in the points that you can right now before the potential of a wreck. Because playing for the end of the race here, if you don't collect those stage points early, everything else can be taken away at the very end.
That's right.
In a last lap crash. Stage points, once you get them, they can't be taken away from you in that race. So, like for Blaney and Busch in particular, because they're both fighting for to make the top 8 here. If they can lock in, say, 3rd and 4th place in terms of points scored here, could be a good day, or could be a good way to at least start protecting against a potential late crash. Say Bowman up into the top 9. Hey, maybe Scotty's gonna see his guy win here.
Cindric hit that 200-mile-an-hour mark just a minute ago.
And it's strange to see him do that without a car in front of him. Mostly because the car out in front obviously has the most air pushing against him versus having another car to break that draft. But here we go. Justin Haley giving a good push to Kyle Busch, who's giving a good push here to Stenhouse on that top line. Those 3 Chevys working together despite being from 3 different teams. Coming up to lap a couple other cars. Looks like, is that the Motorsports Games number 78? Trying to figure out who that blue and red car is.
I don't know, but he's staying up on the top line.
Yeah, I think that is BJ McLeod in the 78 there.
Oh, so he's used to being up there.
Yeah. And then here we go. We got Carson Hocevar, which is a strange one. And he stays to the bottom here, forcing Cindric and the others off the bottom line here as they take the white flag in the stage. White flag in stage number 1 here. So, we've got the white flag. Now, what can they do with it is the question here. Cindric goes up top trying to block Stenhouse. Stenhouse and Busch to the outside. Putting Cindric there in a little bit of a sucker hole. Oh, Busch and Stenhouse both nearly crashed there.
Oh, there's the crash.
Yep. Are we surprised with who caused it?
Well, I'm not sure who caused it.
Oh, I know exactly who caused that. Right there.
He actually saved that.
He saved it pretty well. I mean, granted, I think that parachute on the front of his car probably helped.
Yeah.
On the right side. Helped him get that thing slowed back down to a reasonable pace here. Caution flag flies as Ryan Blaney will win stage number 1. Followed by a couple of Hendrick drivers. William Byron, Larson, and Elliott and Bowman. All 4 Hendrick.
Chastain pulled in front.
So, yeah, they had a little bit of an issue beforehand, but then Chastain just tried to clear himself.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there was some kind of issue before. Like, they both scraped the fence here before that happened, but then Chastain just tries to clear himself right in front of him. Hopefully not a significant amount of damage to either of those, to the the Stenhouse and Kyle Busch cars, because innocent bystanders, really. But I think they might have gotten away with that one.
Yeah, looks like Busch got away with it.
Yeah. But, we got 23 people in the chat. Thank you guys for everybody that's tuning in, of course. Leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new so you guys don't miss any future live streams. We do these things all throughout the NASCAR season. But yeah, I'm surprised though. How did Hendrick Motorsports get 4 cars in the
cars
top
in the
5?
top 5.
Literally everybody but Blaney. Now, next week I won't be able to do the live stream in this style because I'll be at the track, but there will be content coming out throughout the weekend while I'm there. So, don't worry if you guys are looking for content. There will definitely be some content coming from the track. Just won't be in this style. We'll be back, though, for, what's the next race after that? It would be Vegas. So, but, we got a long way still to go in this one, so another 60-lap stage here. And, yeah. Not even sure, because they weren't even really all that organized. It wasn't like that 4-car Armada bulldozed their way around the top. But they managed to make it work, and somehow the 2 playoff cars end up being the top 2 of the Hendrick duo as well. Because that's something that happened in the infamous 2018 running of this event. Stewart Haas Racing was so dominant that they were actually able to kind of pick and choose which car needed the points to let them to kind of shuffle the order of who's got the clean air for the end of the stages. That's how much control they had over the race, that they were actually able to just pull out a line to reorder their cars.
Are you saying they do that?
That race they did. And in 2017, in this exact race, Joey Logano bowed out a line to allow Keselowski and Blaney to pick up stage wins since they were playoff drivers, and Logano missed the playoffs that year. So, I would say yes.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
And trust me, I find it strange that Joey Logano was able to do that with his ego.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Said no one ever. Alright, that Colts game isn't getting any better. Oh, Vikings actually take the lead, though, in the Panthers game. Gonna actually make it a decent game there. Broncos, what is going on? 28-7. Eagles have the ball in their game, still 13-17. Eagles trailing.
Oh, Steelers finally scored.
Yeah, Steelers got their first couple of points on the board.
Field goal.
Yep.
That's good. I got the field goal kicker, so my fantasy lineup.
And then the 4 o'clock games are the you got the Raiders, Chargers, playing in LA. Then you got Cardinals, 49ers, and then Patriots, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott's returned to Dallas. As we're coming back from commercial break, and we got pit stops. So we got, they're featuring the top 4 here. Blaney, 12.6. William Byron, an 11.7, but then he stays stopped in his pit stall for a little while. Same thing with Kyle Larson. Looked like waiting on fuel after a 10.6 on changing tires. So it looked like a couple of guys waiting on some fuel there, despite having fast stops. And Harrison Burton with no tires on his stop. Not sure if he took tires under the green flag stop earlier, but he he gets that. He's gonna gain 17 spots here. Then you got Blaney, Elliott, Larson. So all 4 Hendrick cars still came out together. And look at that damage on Bell's car there for a moment before it went to commercial break.
Did you see the broadcast? They were talking about how it's not surprising that Ricky Stenhouse Jr. causes the first accident of the day.
How on earth is he causing that? That was not his. He was involved, but he was not the cause.
That's what they said.
Yeah. Got a bone to pick with that. That ain't right. Oh yeah, then the thrilling Sunday night football game.
Yes, tonight.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes. Oh wait, sorry, scratch that. Zach Wilson versus Patrick Mahomes. the matchup everybody wants to see.
I'm still hoping that they find somebody new to play tonight.
I'm gonna say they did sign a new practice squad QB.
Who'd they pick up?
Trevor Simeon.
Oh, okay.
The last guy to actually bring the Broncos to the playoffs, I
Yep.
believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, I think you're right.
The benefit of listening to a podcast with a Broncos fan on it. You get the accurate Broncos updates. Where did you put my Gatorade, or did you not grab one?
I did. Didn't I hand it to you?
I don't know. I was working on the computer. Did I set it down out there when I was on the table?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, here we go. So, yep. So, games are all going well. Let me check my fantasy lineup real quick. Drafts, alright, live, best ball. Okay, so I'm winning this draft league. Got Trevor Lawrence as my, how on earth is, that's all weeks combined. Alright, week 4. Okay, so Trevor's my leading quarterback so far. Haven't seen Purdy yet in the San Francisco game.
Oh, you have my 2 quarterbacks.
And I've got Russell Wilson in there too as my running back.
I can't do that.
He's not in as a running back, but that's how he plays most of the time, or at least when he's successful. I had Devon A-Chain currently is my leading running back in terms of points scored. Alvin Kamara came back today for New Orleans versus Tampa Bay.
What do you think of Deshaun Watson being out of the Cleveland game?
Great. DTR taking over the team, as he should. And then let's take a look at my pick'ems. Oof.
All right, here we go. Let's see this Stenhouse causing a crash.
How is that Stenhouse's fault?
I could have made a case that it was Kyle Busch. I could have made a case it was Chastain.
And I could even have made a case that it was the inside line potentially moving up a little bit that startled Chastain into it.
Yeah, well, I think that was them pushing him up into it.
Yeah,
but
no.
But Busch was pushing down. So.
Yeah. Wait, watch this. Watch the inside line in particular here.
Yeah, see, Busch came down into Chastain.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Actually, I would say that was more of a Busch thing than a Chastain thing, because Busch came down into the back end of Chastain, which turned Chastain up to the.
So let's try and see. This is probably one of the worst angles to try and catch the wreck from. And that's an even worse angle to catch the cause of the wreck from. And then none of my picks going too well here today.
Oh, Chastain's out of the race.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised on that one. He took a pretty hard hit to the corner here. Who's he gonna blame?
Oh, I would blame Busch if I were him.
Just don't blame Stenhouse, otherwise you'll look like an idiot. Let's see. I don't think any of this is personal. I don't know. It kind of looked like he came up, tapped Kyle Busch, then Kyle Busch turned down into him. If we had the ability to kind of slow down this replay, knowing NASCAR, they'll show it another 400 times before we go back green.
That was pretty good on Chastain's part, saying that he doesn't know if anyone was really at fault. It didn't look like there was, because I thought he was going to come out and blame Busch immediately.
Yeah, I don't get why the booth was blaming Stenhouse.
How do you blame the guy in front that didn't change lanes? He's the only one that didn't change lanes in that wreck.
And here we go, getting ready, pace car off, and we're ready to go back racing. Green flag is out, and Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney leading them to green. 300 cars on the outside line. Not sure why Byron didn't choose to take the outside line with his Hendrick buddies. I thought all 4 of them would have chosen the outside lane and would have made a steal of a deal for whoever wanted that inside line behind Blaney. Looks like it would have been Logano getting that spot if Byron did go up. But, yeah, here we go. Time for the double file restart here. Say, Chase Elliott's got it out in front. They have their on-screen graphics kind of covering the battle for the lead. But there we go. So Blaney gonna try and get. There's that battle of who can get out in front and try and block both lanes. Is the big battle that happens at every restart. And of course, Byron is the only one who has nothing to fear this weekend.
That's right. He's locked in.
Yeah, winning Texas last week means he doesn't have to worry at here or the Roval. And speaking of the Roval, Hendrick Motorsports actually made an announcement of who's going to drive their Xfinity car at the Roval next weekend. The number 17 car.
Who's that?
It is going to be Boris Said.
Said what?
No, that's his name. Boris Said. A longtime road course racer. We thought he was retired. He came back and ran one race in the next gen car. 61 years old. Most known for looking like a Bob Ross clone, almost.
Yeah, he does kind of look like a Bob Ross clone.
But, yeah, so he's going to be making another run, and he kind of said in the media that if this run goes well at Charlotte, that it could be his last race ever. Yeah, and if it goes extremely well, he will make it his last race ever because he wants to go out on top, similar to like Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
So, I know Kurt Busch made the Manning comparison to how he wanted his career to end. Unfortunately, not exactly the way it went for him. And they are still locked in a side-by-side battle here, though, between Elliott and Blaney here. 2 good friends off the racetrack, but I don't know. I don't think they want to keep racing this thing side by side for too much longer. Or maybe they do, because at the moment, nobody has been able to make a third lane work. One car going up there, but I think that's just to shuffle himself to the back, because some drivers do tend to want to get out of this line to not be in the middle of the chaos. Also, it was a over-the-wall too soon penalty for Eric Jones. That's why he got lapped as early as he did.
Okay.
Yeah, I found that out while we were talking there under the caution flag. So that's why he dropped that far. He didn't have any kind of mechanical issue, which is good.
I gotta say, I hate the paint job on that 8.
The black car? The black with the X?
Sorry.
You talking about the number 9?
Yeah, the one I can't read the number on.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, I've complained about that sponsor's paint scheme since they back when they came back as a sponsor and were sponsoring Bowman.
That's hideous.
Like that aqua blue has nothing to do with the rest of the paint scheme. Like you got so many other colors. I mean, red and orange, considering the numbers on a primarily white part of the paint scheme. Like I have no. And I say, at least when it was on Bowman's car, Bowman's kind of made that aqua-ish teal blue his kind of signature color that you'll notice if you look at some of his ally cars more closely. He's been bringing that kind of shade to his other cars. But now Chase Elliott's still running that light blue number on the Lumar car.
So do you have Chase Elliott in your lineup?
No, I don't.
So, and you realize I took him out of mine, right?
Yep. I should have put him in. But I didn't make any changes to mine after we did the video. Didn't go ahead and scoop your pick. But yep, you did take him out of your lineup, and now Chase Elliott to the lead. And he can start to block both lanes if he wants to here. And oh, we got a car on the top side here. Who's that? That's number 51. That's JJ Haley, I believe. And Chase Elliott just lets Blaney back alongside him. And okay, yeah, he does. Yeah, he does have a good amount of momentum coming from behind, and now Larson can also move down and block both lanes there. So now they can do kind of the Toyota thing from 2016, where the Toyotas had a 4-car train, and Carl Edwards, who was the back member of that train for most of the race, Carl Edwards was the primary blocker, and the other 3 would just follow the nose of Carl Edwards' car wherever Edwards went. And they ultimately controlled that race, and that's what led to a lot of this team racing that we see at this type of track nowadays. It's become commonplace amongst every manufacturer. Eminem's fan wants the number 8 car to win. Shocker. I would love to see the 8 car win as well.
Bowman up to second place.
Yeah, Bowman making it around the outside of his teammate here. Curious if if he may try and slow up that lane a little bit to try and let his teammates back up there to avoid losing a ton of spots. But
the only problem with that
is that if you start backing them up, how long till they take it 3 wide and put you in the middle of 3 wide?
And he's being pushed by a Ford.
Not just one Ford. Look behind him.
I know.
That's 3 SHR Fords right behind him. And then you've got the Gamebridge number 7 there of from Spire Motorsports, Corey LaJoy. Yeah, the like 6th car there in line. That's another Chevy finally.
But Scott's got to be happy here.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Scott with the Bowman fan there, but yeah, let's go, Kyle Busch. Let's go. Yeah, so those 3 SHR cars that found each other and have made their way towards the front. I'm curious to see where their 4th member is at this point. Where's Cal Naughton Jr. running?
Who?
The other Ricky Bobby throwback car. That was Bobby's teammate in the Talladega Nights movie. Chase Briscoe running that car. He's in 28. 28, according to the running order at the line last time by. Because that one can flip back and forth. Because, yeah. But, yeah, no, that was the name of the character that paint scheme was driven by. So, yep. All right, and we're going to another commercial break here. Cindric leading over Bowman. So, how'd Cindric get the lead there? Wasn't Cindric on Bowman's Mike bumper? Did Bowman go down to work with his teammates and just let the Fords by?
Well, I said the one problem with Bowman being at the front was having Cindric right behind him.
And all the other Fords. Because those Fords were going to work together.
Yes. Did you see the biggest news in sports today?
Richardson's back from his concussion?
No.
Oh. Ezekiel Elliott going back to Dallas?
No.
For one game?
No.
To play against him?
No.
Kyle Larson found his lucky underwear?
No.
What is it?
The NFL sold all their tickets to the Swiftie fans, and then Swiftie broke up with Kelsey.
Really? Didn't know that. Hadn't heard that one. Well. She's still going to be at the game, I wonder?
I don't know. That's tonight, right?
Yep. That's the Sunday Night Football game.
Well, there was a lot of controversy about that whole relationship thing, that it might have been a marketing ploy to begin with.
Yep, try and expose as many people to the NFL as possible.
Yeah, that's a whole new demographic.
And a much younger demographic for a lot of them, too.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that fantasy points for Cole Kmet, for the tight end on Chicago. 21.2.
That's pretty good for
a tight end.
Tight end.
Let's say wide receiver is not working too well yet. I'm hoping Brandon Cooks and Tyler Lockett can hopefully help improve my lineup here. For running backs, I got Zeke and Sanders still coming up, and unfortunately, this is a draft where I picked Chubb up.
I have Chubb, but he's in my on my bench right now.
Yep. But yeah, not much from running backs on my team this week so far. Algier and AJ Dillon both backup running backs on their teams as we get back from commercial break. So here we go.
I do have Pollard coming up. So
yeah, you've got Pollard. I've got Zeke in that game. So here we go.
Old against the new.
Saying and for once they aren't battling for carries on their own team. They had been fighting back and forth for carries and the workload on the team. I just hope that Zeke doesn't get benched for Ramondre Stevenson. I hope they let him actually run the ball a lot against his old team. Especially because Micah Parsons getting to Mac Jones is going to be a quick game of seeing just how fast he can get those sacks. But yeah, right now though, Bowman and the Hendrick cars have all gotten lined up on the inside line. Blaney is still in between the front three Hendrick cars though, and Byron. But not much they can really. It's not like Bowman can ditch him from that bottom line.
Where's Bell running?
Bell, he is. Mike McDowell up into the top 10. Bell is 23rd.
23rd.
He's outside line, so he's in the third lane there. As Eric Jones to the race lead.
Gotta like that.
Yeah, is he still in your garage?
He is, but I'm looking. He's got Stenhouse behind him, so I think I'm just going to leave him in my garage for a bit.
All right, you got 40 laps left to make a decision on that one. We got about 10 laps before I expect us to see our first group of pit stops here. Possibly, it might actually be a good plan for the Chevys to try and keep the Fords stuck in that second lane. That way the Fords can't choose when they want to pit. So in particular, those 4 Hendrick Chevys on the leading the inside line could potentially try and keep the Stewart-Haas Fords boxed out there, along with Hendrick.
Doesn't look like Stenhouse wants to push Jones at all. He keeps lifting every time Jones slows down.
Okay, so just taking a look at my actual picks for the race. I had Keselowski and Busch are both getting 9th place finishes or better, and then I've got Almirola, Bell, and Larson all finishing outside the top 10. I think those are some pretty good picks.
Yep.
Those are kind of the guys like, okay, who on the list do I think may not make it to the end of the race? Larson, Bell, Almirola. And how many of those guys are running right at the front right now? Almirola 9th, Larson 3rd, Bell back a bit right now. And then no idea where the 2 Roush Fenway cars are. We haven't heard from them much at all today.
No, haven't, have we?
No, I mean, I remember calling Keselowski to pit road once, but that's about all I've mentioned of them so far. Keselowski back in 24th place here. And then you've got Buescher in 29th. Yikes. But, yeah, here we go. Let's see. Bowman and Cindric fighting for that lead spot here. That outside line starting to fade a little bit.
Yeah. Well, they're not pushing.
Well, they're starting to get to that point. They're about, as I say, and they're getting close to that spot where I would start trying to get in line here, possibly for the pit stops. If I'm Chevy, I'd try and go right at the 30 here this time. Try and do something different. especially right now while you've got or do you try and keep those Fords pinned out here and try and pit as late as you possibly can, and maybe try and force the Fords to run out of fuel doing an extra lap? Could be a strategy.
Could be.
Especially while you've got most of the Fords boxed out in that second lane. And saying, while you've got a pretty good lock on that inside line. Only problem for Hendrick is trying to get the Penske cars to agree to that plan, and not to mention sharing your plan with the Penske's to mess up the day for the other Fords. Considering that that manufacturer alliance you're in. Oh, remember what I said about that outside line?
Yeah, I know. He's back to the lead.
Oh, yeah. No, the front three just took that spot. And here we go. Michael McDowell the second. Michael McDowell around the outside for second here. Todd Gilliland on his back bumper here. And Todd Gilliland, by the way, has officially made it more laps in this race than his dad did in yesterday's truck race. Because his dad was running the number 1 truck for Tricon Garage in the truck series last night. But here we go. That battle on the you got two front row Ford, actually three front row Ford teammates. Yeah, there we go. There's Riley Herbst, the guy nobody expected to be competing for a top 10 in qualifying, ended up being the fastest in Group 1 in the first round. All right, so here we go, and let's say Todd Gilliland just put down the fastest lap of the race.
Okay, is that throwing off anyone else besides me?
What?
The Xfinity fastest lap?
Yeah, it's sponsored by Xfinity
I
because they're
realize
fast internet.
But Xfinity
Yeah.
is last night. Oh, no, they're not even racing this week.
Yep.
Uh-oh, what are we coming up to here?
Not sure, but Eric Jones is going to be the first one to catch him, it looks like.
Yeah.
You got Jones, and are they really going to stay on the bottom line? Okay, that's the 15. That's Brennan Poole, I believe. Yeah, that would be Brennan Poole, assuming that is the 15 that I saw.
They're snaking around him.
Yeah, because he stays on the bottom line. Although, granted, when you've got 3 lanes of traffic, there isn't really a safe place to go aside from going all the way to the apron.
Right. And that's what he was doing. He was straddling the line there.
Yeah, I mean, if they caught him on the back straightaway, there's a lot more room on the flat there to go below the double yellow, because you can go below it as long as you're not advancing your position down there.
Well, he certainly wasn't advancing his position.
Yeah. And again, the thing I've wanted to hear a good explanation from is, are the leaders allowed to go below the double yellow line if they're passing a lap car? Because technically they wouldn't be advancing their actual, position in the race. I mean, it's a rare situation that would be useful, but just something to think about. Because I know we've had a lot of controversy around that yellow line rule. So, hopefully I can at least get 4 of those picks right for the racing one. This Colts one not working out too well for me. I thought Richardson might be able to run it in for a touchdown. So far, the Colts still scoreless in their game. Oh, no, they did get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. But it wasn't a rushing touchdown by Richardson, which is what I thought it was going to be. And DeForest Buckner not able to get his 1 sack so far. And then Diggs and Gabe Davis both out receiving the 2 Miami receivers there. Those were my picks for that game. And then Damian Pierce already busted my other lineup, but he was the sweepstakes player of the week or whatever. So, yeah. Alright, so let's see. Let's take a look around some of the other games, see how they've progressed. Let's see. Ravens Browns is still locked at 21-3. Vikings starting to take a little bit more of a commanding lead here, 21-13. Vikings over the Panthers. Panthers do have the ball though, so they could potentially tie this game up on this drive, assuming that their coach knows that 2-point conversions are a thing. Because apparently some coaches didn't know that 2-point conversions were a thing last week. By the way, the time left, by the way, when the Raiders went for that field goal, it was about 2.5 minutes on the clock when they went for the field goal instead of the touchdown and 2-point conversion. It was a 4th and 4 from like the 8 or so yard line. Yeah, no reason. And in fact, I think their coach should know that they had 2-point conversion, since the previous drive they had gone for the 2-point conversion and gotten the 8 points to bring it within 8. And here we go, 30 laps out of 60 here in this second stage here. This is when I would start to expect to see some pit stops potentially. Question is though, who is going to do it? And they got Dale Jarrett in the picture here. And there we go. They just went and put the name up. So Riley Herb's trying to ride that outside line here. Do we think he comes down to get in front of his teammates? Does McDowell potentially check up to try and let him to the inside, since you can check up that inside line a lot easier than you can the outside line? Or is Herbst being there just a way to try and keep that outside line in check here, potentially?
That's what I'm wondering.
Try and help keep McDowell and Gilliland 1-2 on the inside line.
And give Cindric and Harvick the opportunity to move up here.
Yep. So yeah, Reddick, Bubba Wallace, the front two in that inside, or in the outside lane there. And now we got the Coca-Cola Racing Family Drivers overlay to take up part of the screen for a minute. Because that's totally effective advertising dollars.
Absolutely. I want a Coke now.
Said no one ever. Okay, Eagles did take the lead over the Commanders as they end the third quarter, by the way.
All right, the world is right again. What?
Broncos have actually made it a 1-point game against the Bears after getting blown out for most of this one. I mean, that second quarter really killed them, but it's now a 27-28 football game over there. As Michael McDowell and Todd Gilliland start to emerge on that inside line as the...
so much for the inside line. No, he's back in the inside line.
That was McDowell basically just trying to see if he could pull off the Pied Piper move of moving up and down the top to bottom here. So Buescher and Keselowski both hovering around that cut line here, and Kyle Busch minus 33 points. Is he a lap down after the damage he got? Kyle Busch is... Nope, he is 24th on the lead lap. Also, Colleague Racing put out a post with a challenge for a giveaway, trying to guess how many cars would end up finishing on the lead lap. Put in my guess for 16, so let's hope we can get 16 people on the lead lap by the end of the race. Because, that'd be cool. Considering that's not an easy thing to try and guess exactly how many cars will finish on the lead lap in a race like this. And there we go. Herbst manages to get down in front of his teammates here, as I believe we are going to start to see the preparations for pit stops as we have hit now lap 34. Last time they waited till about lap 39 of the stage here to decide to try and go for the pit stop. Do you guys think there will be a flip? I don't think we're going to see an airborne crash, but it's hard to really rule it out. It's Talladega.
Oh, I thought he was looking for us to do a flip off the backflip off the stands over here.
Yeah, I don't think we have the room for that, nor are either one of us athletic enough for that.
could probably do it, but not on purpose.
Yeah. I think the point would be for it to be intentional. Ooh. Richardson gets a rushing touchdown against the Chargers. Or not Chargers, Rams. That other LA team that LA doesn't care about. Because LA only cares about the Lakers. But Reddick and Bubba really putting on a pretty good charge here as Riley Herbst driving that number 36. Trying to work both lanes here. Potentially make a case that he should be in the Cup Series sooner rather than later. I'm not sure this is enough to... I mean, maybe if he wins the race for front row, maybe he earns a spot, but I don't know. I think it would be a hard ask to do it. Not to mention he's in the wrong car number if he wants to win for Front Row Motorsports. Every win for that organization's all come from the 34 car, not the 38 or the 36. Despite the fact that they've had the 38 forever. Yeah, David Reagan won in the 34. Chris Buescher won in the number 34 car. And here we go. Pit stops. No. Okay. We had a couple people looking like they might be peeling, but no takers here on the first time round. Or at least the first time where it looked like it. So that tells me we're going to be having stops soon here. J.G. Haley on the pit exit here, running on the apron of the racetrack as he gets back up to speed. Not sure, what his plan is at this point.
Two rogue Toyotas in the top 5 with Reddick and Bubba Wallace. Gotta love that.
I mean, if it's a Ford, goodbye to whoever spins in a Ford on the back straight. It's going to be to the back rooms. Not sure what he's trying to say there. Yeah, our stream's probably a little bit behind because we're watching on Peacock as opposed to a traditional cable broadcast, and because of NASCAR, and because of the natural stream delay from YouTube as well. So, yeah, it's very likely that you guys, if you're watching alongside the broadcast, that you'll be a lap ahead or so. Hey, Patrick, how's it going?
Matwick.
So, we got Front Row Motorsports versus 2311 at the front of the field. Just like everybody predicted this season. And we got a lot of people looking, but no takers again on the trip to pit road here.
It's amazing. Lap 37 and no pits.
I mean, again, we made it to lap 39 last time. Was when when we had that first group of Fords make that pit.
Was it
last
39?
time? Yeah, it was lap 39. The last time around. It didn't feel as long because we missed the first 15.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, it was lap 39 when they made the first round. But yeah. Bro said Ryan Preece up front. When did we say Ryan Preece up? We said Ryan Preece up front a while ago, but he hasn't really been near the front too much since the round of pit stops. He's currently leading the outside line here on the top line, but he's back in 12th or 13th on actual track position there as they go to commercial break. I'm assuming Patrick's exaggerating. He says he's down in Charlotte working on the track, and it's yeah. I don't believe that, Patrick. I'm picking you up, and I'm planning on stopping in Pennsylvania to pick you up. You better be there. So, Colts go up to 15. Hey, maybe the Colts can mount a comeback here in the Rams game.
Yep. They're going to need the touchdown with the 2 points.
To tie the game?
Yep.
They'll also need to stop the Rams, which is easier said than done with Puka Nakua there.
Excuse you?
Hakuna Matata.
Ah.
That's who.
Thought you were sneezing.
Yeah, no, I mean, the list of the Rams receivers is definitely an interesting group. You got Puka Nakua and Tutu Atwell for wide receivers at the team there.
Both common spelling?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Puka, the same spelling as that Pikachu from the anime.
Okay.
Because you totally watch that.
Yes. I can't think of the last time I missed one of those.
And say Commanders have the ball. It's the 3rd and 4 for Washington right now. Steelers, it's looking dim against the Texans. So, and it's a tie ball game. Bears Broncos 28 apiece. Is that game gonna go to overtime just to torture both fan bases?
I was just gonna say there's a bunch of people that aren't gonna be happy if that goes to overtime.
No, how unhappy do you think both fan bases would be if they both end up at 0-3-1 at the end of the day instead of one team getting the win?
It would be appropriate.
But yeah. I'm gonna say Vikings have the lead over in their game. I did pick the Vikings to win that one on the ESPN's pick'em thing that they do.
And we're back.
And we've got a few new players at the front of the field. Denny Hamlin leading in a very unfamiliar paint scheme, unless you are a very upset Kyle Larson fan who remembers him walling Larson a couple weeks ago in that paint scheme at Pocono.
Well, it is Sunday. They don't deliver on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Maybe that's why Hamlin always fails to deliver championships on Sundays.
Oh. Actually, I think he fails to deliver championships on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays.
Well, they don't race on Mondays or Tuesdays anymore.
Well, I know, but he's delivered the same number in all of them.
Yep. Hey, you know what? He's won as many titles on Wednesdays as he has on Sundays and Saturdays.
That's right.
But here we go. Denny Hamlin to the lead here. Kyle Busch and Michael McDowell. Am I up to the lead in the fantasy?
I don't know.
gotta
I'm watching
be.
my football fantasy, not NASCAR.
Oh, you got 17 laps to decide if Eric Jones is your guy or not. He and Stenhouse are still glued together, so.
Well, I'm in first, so.
What? How am I not in first? How
I
am I not even doing well?
Because you have nothing on the bottom.
Yeah, but I say honestly, my bottom would probably be wrong because I probably would have picked Blaney over Kyle Busch.
I have Blaney over Kyle Busch.
Exactly.
So I have Busher in my garage.
Okay, I can make yeah, I'm putting Busher in my garage for now. Because he's not running as well as Logano is. And Logano's got 2 bonus points from finishing 9th in Stage 1 here. So, Michael Jordan, the co-owner of 2311, he's on the pit box. He's been at the track a lot this year compared to the last couple of years. Oh, and speaking of that team and drivers that we haven't mentioned much today, Brad Keselowski, 3rd place.
Yes.
Making his way up through the field here.
Feel good story. Harvick up to 7th. That's because we're in the middle of pits. Hamlin, Wallace, McDowell, Reddick, Gilland, Truex, Gibbs, Bell, McLeod, and Poole all in on green flag pit stops.
Yeah, so that's your first round of green flag stops. So a lot of the, so I think all 3 front row cars, because I'm expecting that, or did, Herbst had to have been on that list somewhere, right? I didn't see him. He was in 17th, so maybe not, but I don't know. It seems weird that he would have abandoned his teammates who had gotten him all the way there. And here we go. The RCR guys stay out, but a lot of Fords in this group here coming to pit road this time by. Spindrick, you got Keselowski, you got Almirola.
Look at all the bow ties in the top 10.
Yeah, and Harrison Burton gets left out out of the Ford plans, I guess. But yeah, you got a lot of Ford power on. And Hocevar and Jones both hop on the Ford strategy, and Herbst comes pit road here.
Someone forgot to tell the 21 that he was supposed to be pitting.
Or they forgot to tell him that he's driving a Ford this week.
That could be.
Because, I wouldn't put it past him forgetting what team he's on. But, yeah, right now you got the 2 RCR cars, the 2 Spire cars, Stenhouse, and here comes the rest of them to pit road. Good thing is, I didn't see any small groups coming to pit road, so that's nice.
No, they were.
This one is a little smaller than the other 2 groups have been, so yeah, World Wallet's the sponsor, by the way.
Oh my goodness, that was quick.
Yeah, that's how fast these stops normally are here.
Yeah, but he didn't even stop. His tires didn't stop hardly.
Splash and go. Splash and go.
3.3 seconds.
Yep. That's the name of the game. 3.2 for Haley there on that stop. So these guys taking fuel only here. Going to try and hopefully blend out somewhere near the top 5. You got Michael McDowell right now. Denny Hamlin with a penalty. Coming down pit road again. Or did he leave a loose wheel? It's one or the other here. And considering he just passed through, it was a pass-through penalty. Not sure what it was for. Let me see if I can figure that out.
2 of Austin Cindric with a speeding penalty.
Yeah, Cindric penalized for speeding. Hamlin was a speeding penalty as well. So Denny Hamlin had to come back for a pass-through penalty as well. Not exactly the... and Austin Dillon backing way up there on the inside line. Backing all the way up to the front nose of his teammate. And here come the Toyotas trying to make him move around the outside, and future Toyota, Eric Jones, pulls out to that outside line as well. So, right now, though, that outside line is trying to get something going here. But 12 laps to go, it's going to be tough here. Keselowski, that's not McDowell, it's Logano on the back bumper of Keselowski there. Got confused with the yellow and red cars.
Yeah, and Blaney's looks very similar, only he's got
a lot of white there, yeah. On the back half of the cars. They go to side by side as Austin Cindric comes down pit road to go serve his penalty. And, yeah. I mean, this race has been pretty calm, honestly, for a Talladega race. We still have the final stage to go, but... Yep. The Miami Buffalo game is kind of turned into a shootout that for once the Dolphins aren't winning in terms of the arms race. Because one would imagine with all the weapons that Miami has at their disposal, they would be winning the battle there. And the Colts have the ball in position to try and go for it here. To try and tie this game. Let's see. It's
4 minutes to play.
Yeah.
LA's up 23-15 over the Colts.
Yeah, 2nd and 9 at right around midfield here for the Colts. Anthony Richardson, he's 8 for 18 on the day. Stats could be better, but for coming back off a concussion, not bad. Concerning that our leading receiver is a guy who only got one reception so far. Alec Pierce, 1 catch for 38 yards is our leading receiver. And nobody on the team has caught more than 2 passes.
All right, my dilemma.
All right, let's see. What's your dilemma here?
So, I have Chris Buescher in my garage. I've got 10 laps to go. Speaking of which, for those of you out there in Fantasyland, you have 10 laps to go to change, 9 laps to go now to change your garage guy out before it locks. I've got Buescher in my garage with Bubba and Eric Jones in my 2 worst positions.
All right, let's see. We got a push from the inside line here. That's Keselowski now on the back bumper of Logano. I guess they swapped spots there for a moment.
Bubba actually looked pretty good in that last run, but Jones, we haven't heard much from since the beginning of the second stage.
Yep, and Bubba and Reddick were both up there up until the pit stops. They were up in the top 10. Where's Buescher ended up at? He's still irrelevant?
He's running in 9th right now.
Oh, he's running 9th. Okay, that's good. 9th is that good enough? I'm trying to remember, because I know the over-under is around 9. I just don't remember exactly yet. Okay, 9.5. 9th is good. Can we call the race now? I mean, technically we could if it did rain. We are past halfway, so the race is official. The race does end today. But not a cloud in the sky, no worries about rain.
Gano's out to a pretty substantial lead now. Well, pretty substantial here.
Yep.
In that there's almost a car length in between him and Keselowski.
Which basically just means that you can see an ounce of daylight between the two.
Yes. Well, when I said a car length, I meant a matchbox.
Yeah, a 164 scale.
Yeah, not even a 124 scale.
Yep. So, and it's like Kyle Busch getting stuck in that middle lane after trying to go up the track there. Not sure what he thought he was going to gain by trying that, but whatever it didn't work. And that's now moving Larson up the track a bit, which is not great. I need Larson a little bit further back. In fact, Larson, if I'm not using you, just hang out last place, please. Unless you're in my lineup, hang out in the back. And that goes for the rest of the playoff drivers. If I don't have you in my lineup, don't be running at the front.
Unless you're in my lineup, and then be running at the front.
No, your lineup can hang out at the back too, although we've got quite a bit of overlap that we found out on Friday.
Well, yeah, Busch fanboy's always got Busch in his lineup.
I can't always have Busch in my lineup, otherwise I'd run out by week 10. So, but yeah, no, Kyle Busch he's had a pretty good season though so far. Looking like he might have it. As I say, he's going to be trying to point his way back into this playoff battle. The fact that Chastain crashed out and is still only -8 is pretty impressive.
By the way, who was it on Friday that said that Almirola won't be anywhere near the top?
Don't remember.
We'll have to do an instant replay on that.
Throw it on the challenge flag?
Yep.
Oh, I think that was you.
Yeah, it was me.
Okay.
I was throwing myself under the bus there.
So, we're coming up to lap Hamlin. And unfortunately, there's no other cars, there's no Toyotas at the front that would be willing to maybe help Hamlin stay on lead lap. Who else is one lap down? That's going to be the big thing. Battle for the free pass. So, Hamlin needs to stay ahead of Hocevar and McLeod.
He is right in the middle of the pack getting creamed.
From both sides, yep. Yeah, creamed like an Oreo.
Yeah, it looks like a Hamlin sandwich out there.
I mean, it almost sounds delicious. Ham sandwich. So
where if he's still in his PJs? Oh no, he's not. He's not doing FedEx today.
Yeah, where's Hocevar at though? That's the big question, because I think Hocevar is that white car on the outside line. If he can get by Hamlin, that's going to be big. Problem is he's got no help on the outside.
He's out there on that outside line all by himself.
Yeah, I saw him poke out of line. I thought maybe somebody else would go up there with him, but no.
Nope. He's going to have to get a lap car catch up with him.
Well, he's only got 3 laps to the stage, but if he could get ahead of Hamlin, he'd be the free pass.
Right.
and trap Hamlin a lap down, which is the big deal. And another lap car here, Cindric going a lap down. Now, Denny Hamlin needs to pass Austin Cindric to be able to get the free pass now. And that's going to be easier said than done, because apparently they're going to go and put him 3 wide in the middle here.
They're putting him in the middle. Yep.
And he goes behind him. Hamlin gets past him. Hamlin got in line and just sailed right on past him. 2 laps to go here. Yeah, there's gonna be no wreck on stage 2 on the final lap. Yeah, are you just trying to get me to read that so that there is a wreck on the final lap of stage 2, Indigo? Because I feel like you're trying to get me to commentator curse them. Because yeah, and I don't think it's a bad thing that we don't have a crash in a stage. And it helps let the strategy come out pretty organically. I mean, shifting the spots around here. Go ahead and make my final lineup change as we take the white flag in the stage. White flag in the stage.
I think I'm going to keep Bubba in my garage. Your mother's in 3rd place. I don't think we need to tell her that to check her lineup.
I'm gonna leave Buescher in my lineup, even though I have a lot of confidence that he's gonna be top 10 at the end of the day. Just on the off chance he doesn't, but
look at her lineup.
That looks really good. And it's not doing anything right now.
She's in 3rd place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does not look impressive. But speaking of what does look impressive, Keselowski's the lead here at the end of stage number 1. Stage 2. And coming to the line, Keselowski wins stage number 2. No caution to end the stage, or no wreck to end the stage. Caution flag comes out because it's an oval. And there will be a caution, and there will be cautions to end the stages at the road course next week. So
your top 5 in stage 2: Keselowski, Byron, Logano, Austin Dillon, and Chase Elliott.
Yeah, because you actually have to mention that, because Ty Dillon there in 9th place in the stage. Suarez, Briscoe, Larson, Ty Dillon, and Tyler Reddick, the other drivers who earned points in the stage. So you had, 4 playoff drivers earning points in that stage? Kyle Busch being the first driver to miss out. Alright, so yeah, you were right. No cautions on the final lap of stage 2, but again, I don't think that's a bad thing to not have caution flags. And so I don't mind having a race that plays out somewhat organically. They were still guaranteed to have another restart here.
And he was unhappy that he was right.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was saying that I don't see anything wrong with the stage ending cleanly rather than wrecking on the final lap of the stage. I'd much rather see them race until get the chance to have all the cars in contention to the end of the towards the end of the race. That way we don't have a replay of 2017 at Talladega. Crashes are exciting. There's plenty of stuff to be excited about, though, in this race, without crashes. Now, yeah, the crashes late in the race do definitely provide a level of excitement.
I think I need to finish lunch.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, let's see. Mike McDowell comes on 14th. Where'd Buescher end up? Did he end up? I think I saw him 19th.
22nd.
22nd. Yikes. And this just goes to show how volatile it was. And I think Hocevar got the free pass. So Denny Hamlin, after all that, isn't going to get the free pass, and he's going to be stuck a lap down here as we get ready to go for the next stage.
I'm going to leave you on your own for a few minutes.
All right.
Go grab some lunch. I'll be back.
Oh, hey, Julian Blackman, the cornerback for the Indianapolis Colts, got all his solo tackles I needed. Not that it's going to matter, because Miami's not throwing the ball enough to Tyreek and Jalen Waddle to make a difference, but hey, you know what? It's looking better than it was. Team Panda Bear and Sear Bears. Not sure what that's supposed to be a reference to, but I'm going to quickly flip it back to the classic mode for the time being, since we're all by ourselves here, back from commercial break, and Brad Keselowski, William Byron, Austin Dillon hits his pit stall. Joey Logano still on pit road here. He's pulling into his pit box now. So an 11.5 there for Keselowski, waiting on fuel. Byron with a 10.5, waiting on fuel as well. Austin Dillon gets a 14 flat on the tire change and still ends up having to wait for fuel. And Joey Logano a 12.7, waiting on fuel. And oh, big fire! Big fire on pit road! Not sure what's... Oh, that's a gas can in the middle of all that. But man, that's a big fire on pit road. Oh, boy. Curious to know whose gas can that is, because I don't think they got all their gas in the car. And I think my dad picked a bad time to walk away from the stream. So whose gas can was that? Oh! Ty Gibbs with the massive fire. Ty Gibbs... That was Ty Gibbs' fuel can there that led to the massive fire. That's going to be a removing equipment penalty. Could have been way worse. Glad to see that not getting any worse, because, yeah, that fire... You never want to see fire ending up anywhere near a race car, or a car of any kind, really. Man. Big fire. Yep. Let's go ahead and update this real quick. Just go ahead and flip this back to this. All right, there we go. We have the YellaWood 500 logo. All right. So, again, glad that nothing significant happened there to Ty Gibbs after the fire, but man, that was exciting. And we're waiting to see what the final running order is going to be after they came off pit road here. Yeah, any car that has gasoline around it, which Prius uses both electricity and gas, even my dad's car, where he has to plug it in, he still has to pay for gas too. But yeah, you don't want fire anywhere near a car.
Nope.
Yeah, big fire, Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay, I wasn't sure how much you heard there.
All right, I was listening. I'm back. Needed sustenance.
All right, and we'll flip back to the other screen here. Wasn't sure how long you were going to be gone, so I flipped it back to it. Prius on fire. Prius on fire sounds good. You want to address this comment from Patty Whack?
Prius on fire sounds good. You mean while you're driving to North Carolina in one? Because I prefer not to see that.
But, yeah. And say, there we go. Chiefs Jets tonight at 7 Eastern. So, that's going to be a fun game, hopefully. Although, I don't think anybody's actually anticipating that game being good. Oh, and it's also time the 4 o'clock games should be kicking off here soon. Wait a minute. The Colts tied the game. The Colts tied the Rams, and it's 4th and 5 for the Rams. with a minute 30 on the clock, that game could go to overtime.
Oh, where are we? Taylor Swift information.
Oh.
From my daughter.
And I say, I think that right now what they should be talking about here is the fact that Ryan Blaney and Michael McDowell there helped push Carson Hocevar in the third lane around the outside of Denny Hamlin here, which allowed Carson Hocevar, watch, white car here, top third lane here, crossing ahead of that teal car for Denny Hamlin. That's the battle for the free pass.
Oh.
Hamlin misses it by that much, and yeah, that's the fire I saw. And yes, that will be a tail in the longest line penalty for Ty Gibbs. Yeah, for removing equipment, but again, could have been way worse. Oh,
nice bonfire.
Broncos win the game in regulation, so the Broncos are no longer winless. Barely. I'm gonna say, Buccaneers getting ready to put away the Saints. The Titans officially put away the Bengals. At what point do we start worrying for the Bengals?
I'm already worried.
Okay. I was gonna say, because I felt like 0-3 would have been about the time, but then they managed to go 1-2 instead of 0-3. But now they're 1-3. I'm gonna say, Browns Ravens is pretty much over. Ravens have a massive lead there. The Vikings do manage to get their first win against the Panthers here today. Then you got the Buccaneers Saints. That's pretty close to over. Commanders Eagles, 2-minute warning, and it's a tie ball game there too. Just like everybody predicted. And we are about 2 minutes away from Chargers Raiders kicking off. Texans put away the Steelers 30-6, the final score in that game. As we are still working the caution here, lights are off on the pace car, so we should be going green this time. So, here we go. That pretty pink race car, gonna dive for cover, and we're ready to restart this thing. Joey Logano and Kyle Larson on the front row. Can the front row just take each other out here? I mean, I don't really care what happens to Logano in terms of his finishing position, but I need Larson to finish outside the top 10. But whatever they do, I just need them to not take Keselowski out, who's right behind them. This is going to be a little bit of an awkward situation. Yay. So Keselowski giving a good push here to Joey Logano as they go back to racing here. We've had 49 different lead changes in this race already.
Wow.
Amongst, how many different leaders is that? 20 different leaders. So 20 out of 38 cars so far today have led a lap. That's pretty impressive to see that many guys. Also, Patrick tried to defend himself on the Prius take.
I just don't like Prius or any electric cars.
Let us know what your gas bill for the month is, and we'll compare. But yeah, here we go. Those Fords on the top side here, though, starting to gain a little bit of an advantage here. Possibly Logano could start to go down the track and try and block both lanes. I think it'd be a little early for him to try and do that, but he could try and do it if he wants to be aggressive, and that's kind of what Logano's last name is, aggressive, or middle name or whatever. Honestly, all three of his names are probably aggressive.
Yes.
Aggressive.
Yep. Or passive aggressive.
No, there's nothing passive about it. But yeah, right now, and then you've got that hideous number 9 car in the 5th spot there. But yeah, the black number 8, actually, I love the black and gold look for the that he has on a lot of his paint schemes this year.
It is a nice look.
Might not know what the sponsor is from looking at it, but
Well, it's not an iconic name because
yeah,
it's a little outside of my generation.
yeah. It's outside my generation too. It feels like, even though it really should be pretty square and center in mine, or maybe that's just because I'm not very in tune with my generation.
You're an old soul.
And here we go. So they're listening to Joey's spotter or his radio communications. There we go. They got a nice run going here. Now, very easily, Logano could start to block both lanes, but they're stacked up right behind him. If he did try and block, it would be a bit aggressive, but now he's potentially going to lose the spot there. I know he's got a good shot to actually block both lanes right now off of turn 4.
But he would have nobody with him if he can pick up one more spot.
If he can drag that number 6 past him.
Exactly. Then the number 6 and the number 22 could go down.
The problem is if you try and do that, you've got everybody else in the outside line is Chevys.
Yeah.
And everybody else then potentially tries to work against you once you do that, versus if you're one car out in front trying to work both lanes. And honestly, if you're pretty fast, you can get almost everybody on your side for kind of following you. But again, you have to be a pretty special Talladega driver to pull that off. Now, granted, we've got 2 of those guys in the top 5.
Right.
Logano and Larson. Or not Logano and Larson, Logano and Keselowski. The 2 of the best plate racers in the series today.
Suarez up to 4th place.
Yeah, Suarez. I feel like we haven't called his name or number much today, aside from maybe in the middle of green flag stops when literally everybody was on pit road.
I do love that 99 Tootsie's paint scheme.
Yeah, the Tootsie's paint scheme is beautiful. The like pinkish violet car.
It's purple.
It looks pink.
It's purple and black.
It looks pink.
I like it. It
Oh.
looks purple.
Well, yeah, of course you would say that. Your favorite color is purple.
Doesn't that give me special dispensation that I know what purple looks like? That's purple.
Fair. Agree to disagree.
With yourself?
No, I can see how that would be. I can see how that could be purple.
That's good. I can't see how it could be pink.
I say the little number on the sidebar definitely looks more pink than the race car, though. I will say that much.
Sidebar?
In their little running order, you can see the numbers in like a color box when they aren't showing Bubba Wallace's face.
It was in white.
No, his number is white, but it was on a purple or pink box. Like that, it's definitely purple. And they're going to commercial break. Yay. Before we get to settle this debate.
But it's a Liberty Mutual commercial, so it'll be good.
I will say, I hate the when Liberty Mutual sponsors the leaderboard, and honestly, YellaWood isn't much better when it comes to sponsoring that leaderboard, because you see a yellow graphic pop up at the top, and you think a caution's come out.
Yep.
How many times has that caught you out so far today?
Not today, it hasn't.
Not yet, at least?
I haven't paid that much attention yet.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, let's see. So, end of regulation. So, Colts Rams is going to overtime. Ravens Browns hits goes final. Buccaneers Saints goes final. 1 minute 18 left in the Bills game. Bills are going to win that contest against the Dolphins.
Are already flying back home.
Yeah, Dolphins don't much like it in Buffalo.
No. I
And
think they left at halftime.
The Eagles do get a slim lead here over the Commanders. And Raiders Chargers is kicked off now. So Commanders get the ball back all day.
I got a second field goal in the Steelers game.
Yep.
That's about all I'm going to say for that one.
Yeah.
2 field goals, that's it. 6 points.
That game was close enough. I think this could be a really good game, though, in Philly. 31-24 here with a minute 13. I don't know. I think, could Sam Howell lead the Commanders to a win here? There's still some time there, but... Yeah, no. DeForest Buckner still hasn't gotten a sack yet, and they're not going to say I'm not going to get my passing yards on either of the Dolphins receivers either that I would have needed for those head-to-heads, so.
Because I had Amari Cooper as one of my wide receivers.
And did he even play?
He got two fantasy points, so he at least suited up.
Is that better or worse than not suiting up at all here? Oh, I'm now in second place in my fantasy league by 5 points as we go. Oh, we're back from commercial break here.
Because my wide receiver on the bench was Robinson anyway, so Allen Robinson from Pittsburgh. He only had 1.3 points.
Oh, you have the wrong Robinson, because Brian Robinson for the Commanders is doing pretty good. Which is pretty impressive, because he was previously shot before last year started. He had a bullet wound.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. So, right now, Logano and Larson still trying to kind of battle for that lead, because Lasky's still helping Logano and getting Logano to the point where Logano could potentially block both lanes, but again, he would have to make a very late block here. There we go. That's a good push out in front. Now, Keselowski and Logano are going to have the ability to block whatever lane they want. Although, kind of all the lanes are starting to fade behind them. Alright, now that inside line's forming back up, I think, come on, if you're Keselowski, you got to make this move. Go to the bottom. Nope, he's going to just keep pushing his manufactured teammate there in Joey Logano.
Well, they were actually teammates up until a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and they hated each other. They hated every moment of that, pretty much.
I don't know. They look pretty good together on broadcasts.
Yeah. After they both crashed each other out the races. When they're coming out the care center. But yeah.
Didn't they do Xfinity together?
Yeah, no, they've done a couple broadcasts together, but
I thought they did pretty well.
But yeah, no, their chemistry off the track though is not good. Or on the track, I mean, is not good.
Looks like the five's falling back here.
Yeah, that inside line not having quite as much energy as the middle line has right now. Which feels weird to say because we really haven't seen that top line do much of anything outside of existing.
Right.
Like, this still feels like a two-lane race, even though there's pretty prominently a third lane here. Kind of surprised we've only had the one caution flag for incident so far. As I said, the Chastain crash, the only caution flag.
No, there wasn't. There weren't a whole lot in the truck race either, were there?
Until
until the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say until
the big one.
The big ones.
Big ones.
Because I think they went and clicked repeat on the big crash like 4 times before they were done.
I thought they only had 2.
No, there were a couple other big ones that you didn't see. I guess. 51 lead changes. I gotta see what the lead change record is for Talladega.
49 laps to go here. Logano clearly has the lead down on the bottom line now, finally. Nope, still in the middle line. He looked like he was on the bottom line from that other angle. Oh, coming up to lap traffic.
Okay, I don't know if we'll be able to catch this number of lead changes. 88 is the record. We're at 50 so far for lead changes. In theory, if we keep trading the lead back and forth every single lap, it could happen.
So far, we've been pretty consistent with Logano for the last few laps.
Yeah, and Logano's led a total of 42 laps on the day so far. Feels weird that Logano's not in the playoffs anymore.
Yeah. I know you're sad about that.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. Just feels weird that he's not in the playoffs anymore. Oh well, next year's his year. Because every odd year he seems to have a bad year, and every even year he has a championship caliber season.
Is it bad that I'm looking forward to him being in the booth?
Who?
Logano.
When's he going to be in the booth?
As soon as he retires.
I mean, I'm looking forward to him retiring.
I don't dislike him, but I definitely like him in the booth.
I just know that Harvick's getting ready to go to the booth this offseason,
Right.
and I don't know how much turnover there's going to be in the booth for.
Well, I think as soon as you see how dry Harvick is in the booth, I think that will determine the opening that might come up.
Well, I think the hope is that Harvick going to the booth will help Boyer return to doing Boyer things. Because he's going to be a part of the Fox booth with Mike Joy and Clint Boyer. And Clint Boyer's been having to carry a rotating cast of characters as the third person and hasn't been able to really be Clint Boyer here. Speaking of people being themselves, though, Chris Busch around the outside here. Looking like a rocket there.
Up to third place.
Well, third for a very brief moment, but he got his teammate there on the inside of him right now. I don't know what the plan to try and group up there might be.
Now into second place. Now into first place.
Yeah, and now he can go and start leading the line. There we go. Move down the track, go and lead that middle line that your teammate's a part of. So Amarola just poked his nose up into the top 10 again.
And why did he get back up into that?
I don't know. I have no idea why he just went move back up there. I mean, you'd want to stay in the inside line, try and pull your teammate's line ahead, or get both of you out in front there.
I'm wondering if Logano yelled and told him to get out of his way.
I was going to say, or if Buescher was worried that Logano was going to wreck him for being in his way. But, yeah, here we go.
Logano can't do anything, though, when...
And just like every driver with the named with the letters KB, so... I think there's a pretty obvious one there. So you also don't like Brad Keselowski because he's got those same letters in his name, even though they're in a different order. I wonder how many other drivers Patrick just admitted to disliking. Other drivers who have both a K and a B in their name. Kurt Busch. There's the obvious Kyle Busch. Let's see who else he admitted to disliking. There aren't many drivers with K's in their names. And say Stenhouse doesn't have a B anywhere in his name. Eric Jones doesn't have a B. Yeah, so I think it might just be Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch now that he dislikes. So.
What's Patrick's last name?
Jenks?
Okay, no B in there.
No, he's just got an extra K.
He's got 2 Ks. We could get a third one in there. It'd be really good.
Oh, and everyone with PJ. Okay, he also dislikes anyone with the PJ in their name too. So, not sure if that applies to any of the race car drivers.
Well, I'm thinking of himself.
Well, yeah, no, I think that was the obvious. I was trying to think if there's any other people he didn't, trying to find people he isn't trying to reference being mad at. So. Priest doesn't have a J anywhere. Stenhouse doesn't have a P. Martin doesn't have a P.
Logano back out to the lead.
Because Buescher can't seem to figure out how to get in front and block.
Well, he can, and then he moves out again.
Yeah, he does. I guess he's just afraid of leading. You got 33 cars still in the lead lap here in this one. Alright. Rams win in overtime over the Colts. We put up a good fight, though. And Dolphins-Bills goes to the final, and I think that's all for the 1 o'clock games. Oh, wait, nope. Sorry, there's another game going to overtime. Just like everybody predicted. Eagles-Commanders going to overtime.
Yeah.
At 31 apiece.
Where's that Eagles defense?
Probably wasted from the Monday night destruction that they went and did to the Buccaneers defense or offense, because they crushed the Buccaneers on Monday night, and now we've all of a sudden got a challenge from
bottom lane.
Yeah, we got a challenge from the top and the bottom now.
Byron takes over the lead.
Yeah, Byron and Hamlin both fighting for the lead now.
Hamlin.
Yeah, Hamlin, the teal car on the top line.
That's not Hamlin.
That isn't?
No. I don't think so, is it?
That's a Toyota front end. And I don't know too many teal Toyotas.
I don't think that's Hamlin. I haven't seen his. It's Buescher. That's Buescher.
The Buescher, we're riding on board with Buescher. 2 cars behind that teal car that we were looking at.
But that teal car is not. Anyways, the 11's not in the lineup.
I don't know. Oh yeah, because Hamlin's laps down. Remember?
Oh, so he's
not battling. Yeah, he's trying to get back on lead lap. There. Okay. Bubba Wallace to the race lead. Yeah, I forgot. He got trapped a lap down and still hadn't gotten a caution to get back on the lead lap. So.
Is that the same Bubba Wallace that I put in my garage at the end of stage 2?
I don't know. Is it?
It is. Yep.
Darrell Wallace Jr.?
Sure.
Considering that's his actual name?
Yep, sitting in my garage.
Yeah, so it was the 11. He just isn't on the lead lap technically. So,
Wonder if he knows that.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he's very well aware. And he's doing everything he can to change that. Hey, look, Stenhouse doing pretty well in the top 10.
Yeah.
And he just disappears out of the top 10 the second I mentioned it.
Yeah, but he's still looking good.
Yeah, he's
in fifth in line in that bottom line.
Yep. Problem is, 5th in line in the bottom line could be 5th or it could be 15th.
Yep.
At this point in the race.
Right now it's 7th, 6th.
Yep.
That bottom line's looking good again.
Yeah, and that middle line.
But half of that's because you got the 11 in front of Logano.
Yeah.
Logano's twice the driver that Hamlin is. So.
And Logano doesn't want to push Hamlin to try and help him.
Nothing on that one?
Hmm?
Nothing on that one? Logano's twice the driver.
Oh, yeah. No, I got it.
Okay.
And Commanders got the ball, by the way, to start overtime in the Philly game. And I say, Cindric used to be used to be 3 times the driver Hamlin is.
Yep.
Back during that rookie season that he ran, driving that number 33 car. It's been a while since we've seen a 44 car in NASCAR. I think the last time was Brian Scott back in 2016.
I'll take your word for it.
Back when it was Richard Petty Motorsports.
I don't remember what I had for lunch, and I had that at halftime here.
36 laps to go here. Nope, not in this race at least.
I just took a halftime.
Yeah, and here we go. Kyle Busch and Michael McDowell running side by side here. In the around 20th.
Byron takes over the lead from Bubba. And then Bubba takes over the lead from Byron.
Yep.
And then Byron takes over the lead from Bubba.
Hey, Team Mrs. Troy, how's it going? All right, let's see. How are we doing on lead changes? We're up to 54 right now, and 22 different cars have now led a lap. 23 different cars have now led a lap. Bubba must have just led his first lap of the day or something, because I don't know who else up near the front hadn't led a lap yet.
Yeah, because Byron's led laps.
Blaney's led laps, Logano's definitely led laps, and Bowman's nowhere near the lead.
And I think Bowman actually has led a lap.
Let's see. Bowman's led 5, yep. I got laps led in this column here for you.
Yeah, so Bubba just led his first one.
Yep. So.
I'm amazed Larson's only led one because he's been up near the front since about midway through that second stage.
Yep. And I say 55 lead changes amongst the 23 drivers that have led laps. How many people do we think lead a lap by the end of this thing?
Who had Hocevar in 14th place in this plate track?
I mean, is that more or less surprising than him getting a top 15 at Bristol 2 weeks ago?
Well, that's true. Well, so at least Bristol, I can make the... Well, no, because it wasn't on dirt. Yeah, I got nothing.
And at least at this track, you could say, well, almost anyone could win this race. Bristol is not that way. Bristol's not a track where just anyone can show up and win it. And also,
Logano would disagree with that.
Where anyone can just show up and win Bristol?
Yeah, because when he won it a couple of years ago, that was just about what he said in the...
Yeah, on the dirt, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about concrete Bristol,
okay.
though.
Yeah.
Because that's the only Bristol that exists anymore.
That's right. I'm bringing dirt in next year.
I hope that NASCAR has a dirt race on the schedule next year. If it's not at Bristol, somewhere.
Think they're trying to punish Larson?
Why? Larson hasn't won it yet. He hasn't won the dirt race yet.
I know, but that's his specialty, and
I don't know, but they finally got the dirt racing good, and then they cancel it.
yeah. Of course, the beginning of April, definitely not a good time for a dirt race in Tennessee.
Well, it's not a good time for any race in Tennessee, because, I mean, they've had trouble with the concrete race with rain delays, too. I mean...
I know, every time I go there, it seems like we have one.
You've only been to one April race at
I know.
Bristol, so...
Every time I've been there, it's rained.
You say, it didn't rain during the summer when we went down there for the
summer. I'm talking about the April
race.
ones.
Well, you've only been to one.
And every time I've been there, it's rained.
Pretty small sample size. I think there's a problem with your testing.
That. Look at that 24 take off.
Yeah, and 4 wide in the middle there. 4 wide. It feels weird, but it doesn't feel like four wides is special. It feels like it's just kind of commonplace to see four wide at this track. Even though it's definitely hairy.
It is hairy.
And of course, the three cars stuck in that four wide is Logano, Keselowski, and Buescher.
How'd Logano end up way back there?
Four wide.
Four wide, yeah.
I think that answers the question. It's like Cal Naughton Jr. getting a push from his teammate Ricky Bobby there in the outside lane. Briscoe and Priest got that slingshot engaged. All right, let's see. Let's say Stenhouse still up in the mix as well. There we go. Logano moving down to the middle lane instead of being in the other middle lane. Because when you have four wide, you have two middles. Oh, Ricky Bobby pulls out a line behind his teammate.
Almirola up to second place.
Yeah, this is going about as poorly for me as I could imagine. Larson and Almirola in the top 10. And the two guys I picked to finish in the top 10, neither one are in the top 10.
Almirola, did he lead a lap?
Yes. He had one before this.
Okay.
Because it's still 23 laps or 23 different leaders.
Yeah.
But yeah, Almirola and Byron starting to change leads, and it feels weird, but this race doesn't feel like it's been that back and forth yet. We've had 57 lead changes.
Well, it does seem to be going back and forth, but it seems to be the same people.
Yeah, this is just the two lines.
Then they shuffle back and
say
get two new people up there.
29 to go. Real quick, I'm going to just do some math real quick, if you won't mind carrying.
Oh. Carry.
We're 3 laps away from pit stops.
Okay.
Because they've been out there for 37 laps. And these tanks can go about 43 laps on fuel. So maybe that's why we've noticed it starting to get much thinner here. Down to 2 wide as opposed to 4 wide.
Well, 3 wide again.
Yeah, I mean, there's that small little, baby lane at the back. But I don't think that's going anywhere with only, 4 cars in it. And then we got a yellow flag. Not sure what it's for yet. We haven't seen the crash. But the yellow is out here at Talladega. Not sure what the caution's for quite yet. And let's see. Oh, yep, there's a big crash. Who's in it?
The 6?
No! Yeah, there goes the 6.
Is that Dylan?
Yeah, I think that was Dylan. Hard to tell because the Truex car looks very similar, but
I think it was Dylan, though.
Okay, just please be... Yeah, there's Dylan. I'm just hoping that 6 car is okay.
So it looks like Austin Dillon's day is done.
Oh, yeah, Dylan's day is done for sure. Keselowski will have to wait and see.
That's going to hurt Keselowski if he's out.
Ty Gibbs is out. So he's going to be out the car here. Carson Hocevar's day ends early here as well.
Yeah, I don't think that's coming back from...
Yeah, no. The good thing is that it looks like Keselowski didn't take as hard of a hit to that inside wall, and when it comes to playoff guys, they will be more lenient in terms of letting them get back to pit road. Because for other... Oh, no. He's taking down the window net, so Keselowski's done. Unless they're talking with him. Maybe they're going to let him run it back to the pit road.
I don't think he's going to be able to run that back to pit road.
Alright, let's see what happened here. Alright, Keselowski pushing on the back bumper of Hocevar, and what on earth happened? And yeah, no, Keselowski's day is done after seeing that hit to the rear end. I only saw kind of the tail end of it.
Yes.
But what happened to Hocevar there? bring that, to cause that. Like, I have no idea what happened there. And that's about the worst angle possible, but at least this helps us see that Buescher should be good. So at least one of my guys is good. Now I need to have everything else fall exactly my way. Because, of course, Keselowski couldn't finish the race.
No idea what caused that.
I was gonna say, maybe I guess we'll just have to wait until we can hear from Carson Hocevar about it.
They keep showing different angles that all are terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the initial angle I saw.
Okay.
That was well after the crash had started.
That was after the crash had started.
Alright. The car you're pushing is very light, not planted in the ground, just kind of reading what the commentators are saying here, but again, not much of that's really giving a great explanation. I mean, because again, it didn't even look like he broke all that loose. So, Keselowski's the only playoff driver officially involved.
Okay, it looked like the 42 got around first.
Oh yeah, the 42 spun off the nose. I just don't know what happened to cause him to lose control of the car. So, they're going to commercial break. Let's take a look at some of the NFL stuff. Oh, Eagles take the lead in overtime. Game is not over yet, though. 34-31 Eagles.
So all the Commanders need is a touchdown. And it's over.
Yep.
The Eagles win 34-31 over the Commanders.
But, hey, the Commanders put up a pretty good fight there, though.
Well, that's, like I said, that's been the Eagles' season right there.
Yeah, no very confident wins. Did the Raiders miss the extra point attempt, or did they... Or is that two field goals? Let's see.
Well, as good as their kicker's been this year, it could have been a missed extra point.
Yep, touchdown for Aiden O'Connell on his legs.
Yeah.
Rushing TD with a missed extra point attempt. Or they were potentially, it's possible they haven't kicked it yet.
Yeah, I need to drop him from my fantasy lineup. I had him in the first 2 weeks and he destroyed me. 3 weeks and he destroyed me every game.
Oh, yeah, there we go. He got the kick. It just hadn't
okay.
gone through yet. Cowboys get the field goal to score first in the game against the Patriots. 49ers go up early against the Cardinals, 7-0 there. Playing in San Fran. Or Frisco, depending on how you want to call it. Just depending on how annoyed you want to make the people from there.
Yes.
So Giants Seahawks is on Monday Night Football. Only one Monday Night Football this week. That's nice. And here we go. Are they getting ready for pit road, or are they getting ready for a red flag here? Looks like a red flag. They are pulling over for a red flag. They are going to stop this race.
Lovely. 26 laps to go and they're going to stop the race.
Yep. Stopping it for now. How's it going, Toy Mario? So, yeah, right now we got ourselves...
Oh, I see. It looked like Keselowski ran into the back end of Hocevar.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He was moving up the track when he made the hit. That's the big thing that I was looking for, was because originally when I saw it, it looked like a square push, but on that angle, that definitely shows because he was moving towards the outer outline.
Well, he was moving towards the outer line, and he was going into a corner. So.
Yeah. So ultimately, just a very not great situation. And so we've had over 1,000 viewers on the stream throughout the day.
That's good.
And I say, puts it into the conversation for potentially top 5 most viewed streams on my channel.
Because you brought your eye candy along.
And it's totally not, because I've set 3 of the 3 brand new records in that department in the last month.
Without me.
Yep. Because say the Bristol race weekend, both the Xfinity and the Cup race both won up the record.
So what are we doing here on this?
They're checking the safer barrier.
barrier.
They might need to check. They might need more foam cubes and stuff to help do it, because utility cubes, they are very useful. NASCAR even uses them. Because yes, my desk is a foam cube. For those of you guys that don't know what my setup looks like, because I haven't actually done a setup tour in up here yet.
I can't understand why.
Yeah, it's just one room that used to be used for developing photos and storing cigars.
Yeah.
All the stuff that people love.
Yeah. Used to be a whole humidor in here.
But yeah, now it's this.
Thank you, Dr. Clinker.
Yep. So Riley Herbst in 3rd place here. And yeah, they're gonna just show this again, but yeah. The mystery has been solved on that one. So guys who have not led laps so far today. In the top 10, Suarez is the only one.
Corey LaJoy hasn't.
Yeah. Corey LaJoy in 13th. 14th, Chandler Smith haven't led laps. Ty Gilliland in 18th hasn't led a lap, and that's all for the top 20. Truex hasn't led a lap. Allmendinger hasn't. Briscoe, Harrison Burton, and that rounds out your top 30 for guys who haven't led laps. Then BJ McLeod hasn't led a lap, and he's a lap down, and everybody else probably won't lead a lap. Hocevar didn't lead a lap and all that? I thought Hocevar would have led a lap somewhere in there. Especially considering the fact that we've had 24 different leaders now. Because I believe Harvick just led his first lap of the day as that happened. Because the field got frozen and he got given the race lead.
Who?
Harvick.
Oh, really?
And I say he's only led 3 laps, and I think that might have been 3 laps under the caution flag.
I know he didn't have a lap led before, so. But wouldn't that be 25 liters, though? We were at 24.
No, it went to 20. It went from 23 to 24.
Oh, okay.
When he took the lead. So we're under the red flag here for the second caution for contact here on the day. 3rd caution overall because stage break, but. Yep. Now I just need to hope that somehow Amarola and Larson can vacate the top 10 and allow Chris Buescher back up into that top 10. And Bell needs to stay away.
I probably ought to look at my lineup. Not that I can do a thing about it.
Yeah, not that you can fix it at this point. We got 42 people in the stream right now. Thank you guys for everybody that's tuning in. Of course, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new so you guys don't miss any future live streams. We do streams like this all throughout the NASCAR season. Not always with this guy, but when he is available, we appreciate having him here.
We're over 1,200 views for the day, which is great.
Yep. So, let's go take a look at some of those NFL games. Raiders-Chargers is tied at the end of the first quarter. Cardinals is 4th and 8. They're going to be punting it away here. Because if it says their own yard line there, that's too far away for a kick, right?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure that wouldn't mean like it's the side they want to be on.
No.
Okay, and then Cowboys-Patriots is a 3-3 defensive slugfest, it looks like. Kind of how everybody anticipated that game.
That's what everyone anticipated with Patriots-Cowboys.
Yep.
I think you're going to see the Cowboys wear down the Patriots by 3rd quarter, though, and take over that game.
You think Micah Parsons takes over that game in the 3rd quarter?
Potentially.
Since I think he realistically could be he could make an easy candidate for MVP, not even Defensive Player of the Year. I think he could. Wait a minute. Stenhouse was waving out the window in the middle of that crash earlier in stage 1. Distracted driving, is that what we're going to blame that one on since he apparently caused that caution? Well, at least all the other games went pretty much according to plan, too. I mean, Texans beating the Steelers, Broncos and Bears being an exciting shootout, Commanders, Eagles going to overtime. All games going exactly according to plan, right?
Except my fantasy.
Yeah, fantasy's not going too well for me either.
The only fantasy here is that I could actually win. I did mention that my draw was scored an F by Yahoo Sports, right?
Oof. Yeah, so right here's the only draft I'm really in any sort of close contention for. I'm 12th, 11th, 11th, 12th, 11th in my other fantasy leagues. But yeah, this one I've got for week 4. It's like, okay, Russell Wilson's my top quarterback. Should that be concerning? That my top quarterback for the week is Russell Wilson. Oh, and they're talking with Brian Keselowski about it. Yes, I didn't even see they were back from commercial break quite yet.
He's blaming Hocevar.
Are you kidding me?
He's a whiny little baby.
How often does your running back earn more points for your fantasy team than your quarterback?
Not very frequently, because I haven't had a running back. Well, no, Pollard did once.
Yeah, and Joe Mixon that 1 week last year.
Well, last year I won the league.
Yep.
Well, actually, technically I tied because they didn't finish the final game because it was that Buffalo game,
Buffalo Cincinnati
game, and I had all those Cincinnati players on my team, and so I didn't get any points. So we ended up tying.
But yeah, because Devon A-Chain getting more fantasy points for me than Russell Wilson, who was my leading quarterback. Then for wide receiver, I'm going to say a lot of players still going on that one, but all right, let's see. Oh, who's winning? Who's in the lead? Say race isn't over.
Whoa! Look at that spike.
Yep.
Viewership.
I say because there's not much going on the racetrack right now. We're currently under the red flag. Race leader is Kevin Harvick. He just barely got the lead at the time of the caution flag, which ultimately led to him being the race leader right now. Races, we still have, 25 to go? 25 laps
25 laps to go.
Amarola second. Riley Herbst, as everybody predicted, third place. Fourth is William Byron, and rounding out your top 5 is Bubba Wallace.
1,366 views.
How cool is that
this.
in there?
Oh, that's great.
The Harvick Forever a Champion logo.
Oh, that's awesome.
For his farewell tour.
Wouldn't it be wonderful to see him win this?
That's a good one. Oh, here we go. Who's he going to blame? By the way, when we say he, Ty Gibbs is on the TV, so you guys know who it is. It was Keselowski and Hocevar were the main two. Ty Gibbs got involved in the crash along with a number of others. Harrison Burton, another one. I think Keselowski, the only playoff driver significantly impacted. Austin Dillon also out the race in this crash here. So, yeah, Austin Dillon crashed out. Oh, here we go. They're about to talk with Hocevar here after the accident. I want to see who he blames since Keselowski blamed him pretty squarely, and it's pretty clear that
we certainly thought it was
the other way around. Yep. So
I don't fault Brad at all. I did it in the truck race. That's pretty cool.
Hey, you know what? Credit to him, but he should have let into Brad there.
I think that's taking the bigger man position right there.
And the red flag is lifted. We're rolling under the caution flag here. And I'm going to pull something up real quick.
How many people are the bigger man than Brad Keselowski?
No.
Every one of them.
I'm going to pull up an example of someone not being the bigger man. This was one of the NASCAR Truck Series drivers after last night's race. You probably didn't see this one, but yeah, Nick Sanchez ended up getting in a physical altercation with
Post that?
Matt Crafton, and yep, that's going up there.
Okay.
Let's go. Image. So yeah, this here was Truck Series rookie Nick Sanchez after Matt Crafton landed a massive punch. I haven't seen a great replay of the first punch to see if they had actually gotten face to face and it was like a clear we're gonna fight type of thing. Sanchez described it as a sucker punch, so I'm assuming that Crafton kind of came up without any real warning that he was gonna do it and left the kid very bloody and potentially a broken nose is what it sounds like. And for a wreck that was not, I would say 60-40 blame on Sanchez. So Sanchez probably was more at fault for the wreck than Crafton, but Crafton was also being aggressive, trying to take every inch he could. I mean, it was the end of the truck race. It was near the end of the truck race, but again, to go ahead and do that to him.
By the way, I might say you've never looked better on screen.
Yep.
Face for radio.
Of course, yep. And here we go. Pit stops are happening. They got 4 tires and fuel done, and there's no way they did 4 tires and 5 in that.
And 3.3 seconds.
And so they must have done 2 tires because I definitely saw them drop the jack, or because they would have dropped the jack on the other side if they were trying to jack it up just for fuel. Because that's something that you'll see some teams do it.
Which
late.
car?
Byron. So he ultimately took no tires. How did Logano gain 10 spots on all these people doing no tires while grabbing 2? How do you gain 10 spots of track position while taking more tires than everybody else?
Unless he was behind all these people.
But he came out first on pit road.
Oh.
He won the race off pit road with 2 tires versus all those people with 0. Penske perfect pit crew, I guess. Yeah, the 6 did catch a little bit of air there. On the replay when the 42 kind of spun back up into him. But he definitely could have flipped, but luckily I think we've escaped this. I don't even know. Have we escaped this entire NASCAR season without? Ryan Preece flipping at Daytona. Yeah, I forgot. Daytona hates Ryans. Hence why I should probably never visit.
Or at least if you're going to be in the stands, be way up in the stands. Don't ever be in the infield.
Yeah, don't go anywhere where the track can try and kill me.
Yep.
I mean, Ryan Preece, Ryan Blaney, Ryan Newman. Because Ryan Blaney was also in a pretty big crash there that looked very reminiscent of another very scary accident at that track.
Well, that was actually his biggest, wasn't it?
Blaney's. It didn't look major, but when you compare the side by side, it looks a lot like the Dale Senior crash from 2001.
Yeah.
which is always the concern when you see something that looks similar to that, because that's never the parallel you want to draw. But, yep. So, yeah, that was, that's how you don't take it gracefully, though, is, going and leaving the guy with a broken nose.
Yeah.
Especially when it wasn't even entirely his fault.
The guy's trying to hold up his pants.
Yep. Now, let me see if I can find the video of it. Of course, they're getting an unskippable ad. I don't even know if this one's going to show the thing great, and I don't have a great way to put it up on screen for you guys. So yeah, so that was a... Come on. We gonna get some actual footage of the fight, or are we just gonna have this person talking, apparently? So that's just that person talking about it. I know Twitter had a good video of it. Blaney is not... he's 5th place right now after pit stops occurred. I think he may have actually stayed out here. No, he pit, so...
What's your top views on a stream?
We're not there yet. It's over it would have to go over 2,000 before we're realistically talking about it. But yeah, we're doing pretty good though. We got 44 people in here. Thank you guys for everybody that's tuned in. Of course, like and subscribe if you guys are new. But Blaney, I mean, hey, if you're in it, you can win it, right? That's the saying here at this track. I'm definitely going to try and find something Charlotte Roval related to pick up at the Roval this weekend, since it potentially might be the last year of it.
Yep.
Even though I think that's stupid because it's one of the few road courses that they added to the schedule that's worked and done its job very well. All right, let's see.
Oh.
Yep, there's a close calls on pit road there. It's a Stenhouse and Bubba Wallace getting very close there on pit road.
That was like social work distance right there.
And certainly no social distancing, that's for sure.
Nope.
Oh, apparently Crafton put out a 6-part tweet trying to explain himself. Saying that, it was fair because he got sucker punched in the car going 200 miles an hour, calling the crash a sucker punch as justification for the actual punch he landed. I mean, so let's see. Yeah, I can't seem to find.
21 laps to go here. Still under yellow.
Yeah, I can't seem to find the good video of it, but I'm sure we'll talk about it at a later date, probably when the trucks roll into Vegas or into Homestead in a couple weeks.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I probably won't be live streaming for you next week.
Yeah, no. Considering my computer will be with me in North Carolina.
Well, I'll have my computer. I live stream.
Fair enough. Yeah, you stream.
Yeah, probably not.
Alright, so we got 21 laps to go. Pace car's off. It'll be 20 to go when we get the green flag here. We are at 60 lead changes. So unless we go to overtime, we can't beat the record for most lead changes in a NASCAR Cup Series race.
Same thing on both screens. You're killing me.
I have this one so I can scroll. This one's being used for the placement. For the screen, for the overlays on the broadcast is all screen regions off of here.
Gotcha.
So this one I've just got multiple tabs up.
Okay. Throwing me off here. Changing my views.
Yeah, you should be used to that. I change things around here all the time. So here we go.
No, you're my consistent one.
Yeah, going down the back straightaway here. Bowman looking to the inside. Hey, where's Scotty at? Scotty, your boy.
Bowman's to the lead.
I don't have the live playoff standings at the moment. I don't know where. Now would be a great time to have the playoff standings in the bottom half of that.
Well, so you know, NBC isn't going to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna check and see if current playoff standings is live updating. I doubt it. Yeah, no, it's not live updating. IndyCar has that feature on their app or on their website where you can check and see the live points as they run. But until the broadcast shows it, we won't be able to tell you what they are.
19 laps to go.
Keselowski, I believe, is going to be a must-win at the Charlotte Road Course next week, which is going to be interesting because he hasn't been known for winning road course races. In fact, I think he's gotten in more fights with Kyle Busch at road courses than he has road course wins. And that, in fact, I think he's got more fights with Kyle Busch at Watkins Glen alone than he does road course wins. Yeah, he and Kyle Busch fight a lot at Watkins Glen.
Harvick up to second.
Yeah, Harvick up to second, working with his teammate there. He's pushing on the back bumper of aricamirola. Kyle Larson, William Byron, though, those two Hendrick Chevys, could they potentially be looking to make a move? They've also got... Oh, Harvick's going to make a move on his teammate.
Make a move on his teammate.
Pulls back in line here, but...
Yeah. I think Harvick wants this win.
And that's three team. I would say that's essentially three teammates there in line. I'd make a case for that because Corey LaJoie wrote a handwritten letter to try and get that 48 car when Jimmy retired. And he was also the substitute driver they picked to sub in at the Charlotte Road.
Caution.
And no, we got the caution flag. But he was picked to substitute for that number 9 car when Elliott got suspended after Charlotte.
Some debris on the backstretch.
Debris caution? Are you kidding me? Come on. So what's the actual score right now? So the actual score is up there on the screen, but we got Bowman, Blaney, Amarola, Herbst, Harvick, Elliott, Larson, Logano, Byron, and oh, there's Scotty. He's popped back in here. Let's go, Alex Bowman. Yeah. Hey,
we gave you a shout out, Scotty.
Yep. And then Corey LaJoie running in the remainder of the top 10. But we tried to get as many names up there on the screen as possible without hopefully covering too much. But
so as we've had most of the day, we have 5 Fords and 5 Chevys in the top 10.
And no Toyotas to be seen.
No
First Toyota is Reddick in 15th.
Yep.
And, well, hey, at least the 49ers are doing what they should be doing, which is shutting out the Cardinals right now. Over in the NFL side of things, Raiders-Chargers is 10-7, and Patriots-Cowboys is 10-3.
Hey, my Jets aren't losing yet.
I haven't started the game yet.
I know, but I'm holding on to this.
First play of the game, touchdown, Chiefs.
For 3 hours now, I'm going to be happy because the Jets won't be losing yet.
You know what you should be really upset about, though, when it comes to the Jets game later?
That Zach Wilson's playing?
The fact that you don't have the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift thing to distract them from talking about your team.
That is true.
Because that would have been a great distraction.
They'll talk about it anyway. It was an NFL plant anyway, so.
Fair enough. But, yeah, they're doing a Charlotte Roval promo right now.
It's a good promo.
Second place, let's go, Blaney.
I'll give NBC credit on that one.
Yeah, they do great promos. It's just that
they just don't cover
the race dirt.
Race well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you kind of need to do the second half of that job better if you want to get the credit here. And we're only 1 subscriber away from hitting 2340 on the subscriber count. So we're up quite a few subscribers. Thank you guys for everybody that's tuned in and subscribed throughout the stream here. I say, we've had quite a few people pop in. Let's see. What is the official record for most views on a live stream?
$27.
5,600.
I don't think we're hitting that today.
And say, I think realistically, the the Texas race from last week might be the achievable goal, 2,700.
We only got 16 laps to get there.
Overtime.
Call all your friends.
Yeah. And I say, if we could get up into that, again, it's just kind of the fact that we've gone and set records over the last couple of weeks consistently, keeps moving that goalpost even higher and higher to try and get up there into that one. Still feels weird that the at the track stream didn't even survive the whole year as the top rated stream.
We'll see if you can get back up there again next week.
5, 6.
Same track.
Yep. So right now I believe we are in 6th place in terms of all-time streams on my channel, which is pretty good.
That is pretty good.
And I'm saying we got 42 people live in the chat, so thank you guys for everybody. In fact, actually, I forgot to be putting up polls. So who do we want? Who do we want to put in for the 4 names for the race winner? We're definitely putting Alex Bowman in for Scotty to go ahead.
We'll put Alex Bowman in for Scotty, so Alex Bowman at least gets 1 vote.
Not to mention, I normally do the top 4 anyway, but I'm not sure, looking at that top 4, that I want to put those 4 names on the list.
I would put 5.
I can only do 4 options, and so I usually do top 3 and then other.
Okay.
But you try and figure out which 3 we should put on there.
I would put Bowman, Blaney, and Harvick.
Okay.
Does that mean all the Chase Elliott fans are going to get pissy?
They can select other. In fact, that lets them vote for both Elliott and Larson at the same time without having to vote for one or the other.
That is true.
I think the people you might want to worry about are the aricamirola fans that would be upset that you skip right over them.
Well,
and the Riley Herbst fans, all one of them. His mom. Probably.
I think she bet on Bowman.
Yeah. Okay, Gamer Z, that might be a little bit harsh there. We're not gonna be rooting for people to right hook people into the wall.
No.
He wants he can see it. Okay. Where's Bubba Wallace at? Let's see. Bubba Wallace is currently 16th place. He is right behind his teammate Tyler Reddick in 15th. In fact, there's kind of a cluster of Toyotas there. Reddick 15th, Bubba 16th, 17th is Bell, and back in 20th is Martin Truex Jr.
Dale Jarrett looks pretty good out there on the baseball field.
Yep.
Holy moly. He can hit. I didn't see where the pitch went, but he can hit.
All right.
He's 66 years old.
Yep. Ryan Blaney.
That makes me a young man.
It's not... Gamers just said that it's not that harsh. He put it in all caps. I think that is supposed to... Isn't that supposed to...
I think by definition that's harsh.
Isn't that supposed to insinuate yelling? All right, lights are off on the pace car, so I'm going to get this...
So get this polled up here. So
yep. All right, there we go. Poll is up. Let us know who you guys think is going to win this race here. Yeah, say if it doesn't happen and you're losing a bet,
what do you think?
Who do I think is going to win it from here? I like Harvick on the experience. Logano from deeper in the field could have something.
Logano's my guy. I think Logano's going to win this.
Stenhouse in 12th. Don't rule him out.
I can't believe he's still in the race, let alone up in 12th.
So here we go. Pace car is
Here's your
divot.
playoff.
And say pace car runs for cover here. And green flag's out. Green, green, green. Alex Bowman and Ryan Blaney send him off into turn number 1 here.
So my initial pick was Blaney, but I don't think he's got enough today.
Say it's going to come down to that push from behind and the fact that he's got a rookie in behind him. I don't trust that Riley Herbst is going to stay behind him if push comes to shove.
So far, he doesn't seem to be able to push him either, so.
Yeah, no one in that line seems to want to push much here. But now here's the question. That opens up. You've got 300 cars on that inside line together that could potentially go and make a move if Blaney continues to fall a little further. Because right now he's kind of a little too close for Byron to make the move.
Yeah.
Elliott and Larson can make the move together, but I think the plan would be for them to make the move with Byron.
And here comes Byron.
Say, there goes Harvick making the move on Bowman here. So Harvick up to the top there. He saw the momentum coming for that top line behind Blaney.
Oh, that was a good call.
Yeah, that was a good call there. Getting up to that outside lane. Now Harvick has a chance to lead this race with almost 10 laps to go. So we're at 63 lead changes so far. This is a pretty good race.
That was a really good move.
It was a good move.
That was classic.
So here we go. Let's see. You got Amarola and Larson here. Where's McDowell at? Oh, he's back. He's in the back of the inside line, so he's got nowhere he can really go to.
And my choice of Logano just is falling back, not going forward. He's only falling back one. But.
Yeah, he's only one spot further back, and that's because Harvick got up there.
Now you got Blaney pushing Harvick.
Yeah, Blaney getting Harvick out in front. The question is he too far out in front? Because that closing rate can be a nightmare for these drivers.
It's pretty close between Harvick and Bowman right now. Harvick Bowman.
Yep, and I say, Bowman's got his 14. Has all 400 cars lined up together on that inside line after Harvick was really the only one separating them. And now it's they got all 4 cars there. And all right, Reddick is currently 14 points out as they run in terms of the points as they run. Kyle Busch 11, Bubba Wallace is 12 points out. Chastain after the crash is only 9 points out of the playoffs. Keselowski, who crashed out, he's 9 points out. Bell is 20 above, Truex 23 above, Blaney 23 above, and then Buescher 23 above. And a bunch of them are starting to cycle because we got people going back and forth in points. My favorite drivers, it's kind of split 3 ways. Kyle Busch, Michael McDowell, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and I'll let you answer yours.
So mine are Gibbs and Eric Jones and yep. 24. Byron. Thanks.
Okay, so
I can't see him on the list, so.
And say you agree. Say Dan Cott apparently agrees with you. He said his favorite driver is Eric Jones there. So, we got some Jones fans in the chat.
Been a Jones fan since he came on the scene.
Yeah. Now, Alex Bowman starting to try and work both lanes.
Yeah, Alex Bowman to the lead. He's working both lanes.
Say he was the original successor of the Dale Jr. number 88 before Jimmy retired, and now he's not doing that technique justice there.
No, Chase Elliott just took the lead.
Yeah, and the crowd goes absolutely wild
because you got Chase Elliott,
Kyle Larson
right behind him,
and the Rainbow 24 not far behind them. Imagine if we see a Rainbow 24 wreck Chase Elliott for the win. I wouldn't imagine why we would see that, but...
What a push on Bowman.
Yeah, a massive run from the top line there, allowing Bowman to get back out in front and potentially play this blocking game again. But there's a lot of momentum from that top side. You got to get back up there to block, and I don't know if he's going to make the move before it's too late. Nope, it's too late. Harvick's already passed him.
Back in the lead.
So Harvick back to the race lead here. It's getting close here. 8 laps to go, and it's going to be constant action for the final 8 laps here. Let's see. Bowman on the inside. Can he get back there before the line, or will Harvick lead the lap? It's going to be Harvick at the line. Harvick by 38 1/1000ths of a second.
It's almost a football field, isn't it?
No, not even close. It might be about a paper football field. If you've ever played paper football.
I have played paper football.
Yeah, got the flick motion going good.
And Bowman back to the lead.
Yeah, and this is definitely a Hendrick versus Ford battle here.
Oh yeah.
And if Hendrick blows a 4-1 advantage here, it will be a little embarrassing, but I'm just kind of impressed, honestly, that we haven't seen anybody making any stupid moves yet.
Oh, Bowman trying
and
to
Bowman
block.
goes and gets stuck in the middle of the sucker hole here.
He went up for the block, and Harvick just took him right out.
Yeah, now he's stuck in the middle of 4 wide, or 3 wide here.
Yeah, he's going to the rear. Well, not going to the rear because there's already a middle line there.
Yeah, the middle line's going to form there, but now the Ford's getting down in front of Bowman and bury him in traffic. 6 laps to go. Bowman pulling out line.
Pulling out to the third outside line.
Trying to rejoin that outside line here. Riley Herbst trying to give the best push as he can to Ryan Blaney and the rest of that line. But, I mean, I think the lack of experience on Herbst's part is going to potentially be what brings out another caution if we see one here.
So Elliott, Larson, Byron, and Suarez. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And Chandler Smith, the Xfinity Series regular there, running 5th.
Yeah.
All of them running on the inside line. Hoping Harvick wins, but not. But Hendrick is Chandra's favorite team.
Scotty, I think we figured out that your favorite is Alex Bowman.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bowman got stuck there. Byron up to the top, though. Byron tried to make the move on Chase Elliott here to make the win.
Is he? How many he's led 12 laps so far, and he's ahead right now.
Harvick, though, now back around the outside. Can Harvick get this one? 5 laps to go here. Let's go. 65 people in the chat. Thank you guys for everybody that's tuning in. This is going to be an amazing finish to this race. So the Rainbow 24 gets in front of Chase Elliott.
Well over 2,000 views now.
Yep, and here we go. Now it's going to be a question of, can anyone else get past Harvick here? We've hit 69 lead changes.
In the last 2 laps, I think.
69 officially recorded at the line.
Yes.
Will we see another lead change, or will it be holding steady here? Let's see. I want to know what Riley Herbst, 3rd car in the technically middle lane here. What's he going to do when Bowman and that outside line potentially catches up? If they catch up.
I don't think that outside line's going to have the...
Yeah, they only have 5 cars up there. Not enough cars, really. It's going to be tough here, but that inside versus outside line at the front. Harvick gets the lead at the line again, this time by almost half a tenth.
I think he might lose it here, though.
Yeah, in the corners, he loses it, but then he gets the push off the going down the back straightaway here, and that's where it allows him to kind of get that lead and potentially even make a block if he needs to.
It's because he's got Logano pushing him.
That's Blaney. Yeah. Logano's all the way back up there, 3rd car outside.
He's got Blaney pushing him.
Yeah, there we go. Now Blaney and Harvick, both down the track. Come on. Come on, guys. Seriously? Does nobody listen to me?
What?
Seriously. I said the same thing in Atlanta when Brad Keselowski was trying to make the
one of them went down.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick
went down.
Yeah, now Joey Logano, or not Joey Logano, the other yellow Penske car. You've got me doing it now. Now Ryan Blaney's got the momentum. Can he maybe make something work? Because if those two could have both gone down together, they probably could have ended the chance for that outside line.
But now you got 2 Fords in the front. That's the key.
And all those Hendrick Chevys are boxed in on the inside. Ooh, Denny Hamlin fourth car outside lane. Does he have any friends? No.
Does it matter? He's in like 33rd place.
He's in like, is he? No, he's
No,
seventh.
Seventh. Wow.
Yeah, he got his lap back at the caution when Keselowski wrecked out. As we got the white flag, this race is going to end in regulation. We don't have overtime, surprisingly.
And Ryan Blaney was in the lead at that.
Yeah, he led by 25 one-thousandths of a second, but now Harvick's got it out in front. Can Kevin Harvick get his final win here? Harvick up the track trying to block. Blaney to the bottom.
To the bottom.
Ryan Blaney to the bottom of the racetrack. Riley Herbst, the rookie, trying to push Kevin Harvick here. I don't think he's going to have enough. The question is, what does Kevin Harvick have in his car on his own? And can Ryan Blaney find something in it? Big run off the corner here. Can Kevin Harvick get the momentum here? And coming off turn 4, we got a crash. The Hendrick car's crashed. Ryan Blaney wins it. And everybody wrecks behind. Corey LaJoie comes 5th. Wow. Just happened to be the first person I saw after that. But man, Harvick.
Ryan Blaney in first. Kevin Harvick comes in second. William Byron comes in third. Denny Hamlin comes in fourth. And Corey LaJoie comes in 5th.
So, that marks down win number 3 that Ryan Blaney has won by a margin of about 6 inches.
Less than a foot.
Now the question is time of caution, because technically the race to the line doesn't matter if the caution was thrown before the line. If Harvick had a nose out and head when the caution was originally thrown, I don't think he ever really had it. I don't think he ever got a nose out in front, so it doesn't really matter here. But man, Ryan Blaney with the win.
Well, he was there.
But there's nothing happening yet.
Right.
It's all about when they throw the caution, because they're usually.
Oh, that's Blaney. I was looking. Sorry, I was looking.
You were looking for Logano?
No, I was looking Blaney and Harvick, but I was thinking that Blaney was Harvick.
All right, here we go. So Ryan Blaney about to go to the front stretch to collect his trophy. And we're gonna get to see one of my favorite reasons to see Ryan Blaney win, which is his victory celebration after he gets the checkered flag. But yeah, we got the burnout though. Man, we have 70 people in here. Thank you guys for everybody that's in here. Of course, hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. I'll have a post-race recap out tomorrow. But yeah, this has been an amazing stream, and you guys are the main reason for it. We end up having an official 70 lead changes at the line amongst 24 leaders here on the day. As always, we will do a full breakdown, giving every driver in the field their fair credit. As we do at the end of these streams, I just want to see this Ryan Blaney front stretch interview real quick.
And congratulations to the 26% of you who picked Ryan Blaney as the winner for this race.
And Ryan Blaney, as a playoff driver, he's in the round of 8 now.
That's right.
First time he's advanced to the round of 8 since his days in the 21, driving for Wood Brothers.
So Byron and Blaney, the killer bees in the next round.
Was he one of yours in your lineup?
Blaney?
Was he one of your killer bees in your lineup?
I think so.
Okay, good. Because he won.
I don't even know.
You don't even know.
Go back to my Fantasy Friday.
Sway Gonzo was apparently not happy with that result. I don't know. That was a pretty good result, honestly.
I was saying, I don't know if I'm happy with the result, but it was a great race.
Like, honestly, even if I don't care about this, even if I don't like the result, I can't be mad at a good race. And that's exactly what we had here, so.
So I ended up in 10th place in the fantasy, but I did have Blaney. You ended up in 16th.
Yikes. Dead last of the people that actually have any picks in.
Yep. Next to you was JP.
Yeah, who hasn't put any picks in since April. So, all right. There we go. We got So he's talking about the end of the race. We'll go ahead and start doing the rundown of the top 10. So would you like to talk about it? Talk about our top 5 here?
Our top 5, Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, William Byron, Denny Hamlin, and Corey LaJoie. Corey LaJoie, obviously one of the biggest surprises to me, although he's had some success on super speedways. Seeing him here, he really wasn't that competitive most of the day, so seeing him at the top 5, I think that's pretty special. The rest of the people in the top 5 all kind of expected. Actually, I'm kind of surprised to see Byron up that high.
Let's say I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping Kevin Harvick would get that win to turbocharge his farewell tour.
Me too. I was hoping for Harvick there. I like Blaney. I think Blaney's super nice guy. Harvick used to be one of my favorite drivers, and then he started railing on everything.
And say a lot of Chase Elliott.
Yeah, a lot on Chase Elliott. Yeah. So I'm not a big Chase Elliott fan, but I think he's a nice guy, and I think he's a good driver, and so.
And speaking of Chase Elliott, he's in this next batch. Cindric, Justin Haley, then you had Chase Elliott, Ryan Preece, and Riley Herbst rounding out your top 10 here today. Riley Herbst, I think, being the biggest surprise, an Xfinity Series regular. Only his 4th Cup start.
I still want to know who had the top 10 picked in Vegas, because if you had that top 10, you should be at least a trillionaire right
now. But yeah, Ryan Preece driving that cool Ricky Bobby throwback. Comes home 9th place. Chase Elliott comes home, I would say at this point, a disappointing 8th, just based on how good he was running there near the end of the race, and the fact that he had a 4 teammate advantage at the end that they blew. Then you've got Justin Haley, who was a super speedway ace in the Xfinity Series, finally kind of showing some of that prowess at the Cup level. And Austin Cindric, your 2021 Daytona or 2022 Daytona 500 winner, going out here and getting a top 5 or top 10 here. And then you got Suarez, Chandler Smith, Todd Gilliland, Chase Briscoe, and Christopher Bell rounding out your top 15. So some good days there for some guys that we don't normally talk about. Chandler Smith, an Xfinity Series regular, getting one of his limited opportunities here in the NASCAR Cup Series, driving the number 13 for Colleague. Comes home 12th. Suarez, fresh off a brand new contract with Trackhouse. He's going to be in one of their 2 cars for a while. Finishes 11th, proving that they made the right investment there.
Yeah.
Then you've got Todd Gilliland, who his team just recommitted to him for at least 1 more season, proving that they potentially made the right pick. I still don't necessarily agree with the pick over Zane Smith.
I think the jury's still out on that one, but Todd Gilliland's actually shown pretty good resiliency till the end of this year. So
yeah, and especially after signing that contract, he's shown a lot of speed and consistency. Briscoe in the other Talladega Nights throwback, coming home 14th. I think he has a contract signed for next year, but I don't know for sure. So I guess trying to show his team that he's still got some stuff left in the tank. And then Christopher Bell, I feel like he should be preparing to become the new team leader at this race team, and ultimately a 15th place finish. I don't know if that's necessarily doing it, although aside from Hamlin, he is the top Toyota performer today. And then we've got Kyle Larson 16th, 17th Tyler Reddick, 18th Eric Almirola, 19th Martin Truex Jr., and rounding out the top 20, Chris Buescher. Any drivers there you want to talk about in particular?
No.
I'm bummed Chris Buescher didn't do better.
Yeah, me too. I anticipated much better from him today.
Martin Truex Jr., he confirmed he will be back for at least one more season, although he's been contemplating retirement for like 2-3 years now at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to prolong longer. COVID or Martin Truex Jr. retiring. Because apparently COVID's on a comeback. Did you hear about that?
I kind of felt it in August.
Yeah, apparently it's on a comeback. So, yep. 21st, AJ did they just put all my drivers in line here from 21st on back? 21st, AJ Allmendinger. 22nd, Michael McDowell. 23rd, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Then we got Bubba Wallace and Joey Logano.
Okay, so I do have to say something on this one.
All right.
So, on my Friday night picks, I actually said, who puts Michael McDowell in 21st or 22nd place in the standings for this race? Who thinks he's going to finish that low?
He finished that low.
He finished in 22nd place.
He was 21st on the odds when we were talking about it the other night.
Yeah. So,
certainly
Vegas has it all over me.
Yep. As I say, Bubba Wallace and Joey Logano, they both had much better cars than their finish results showed. Honestly, I'd say Stenhouse and McDowell probably did too. McDowell is really the only one that didn't really show a ton of speed throughout the race, only leading 5 laps, although, honestly, that might be more laps than half the field, even though almost everybody did lead a lap. Then you had Kyle Busch 26th, 27th Eric Jones, 28th Ty Dillon, 29th Alex Bowman. Scotty, there's your guy, finishing 29th. Last car on the lead lap, and the first car 1 lap down in 30th, BJ McLeod. Anyone you want to talk about there?
Where did Bowman finish?
29th place, last car on the lead lap.
How did he do that? Was he in? He had to have been in that wreck.
No, he finished on the lead lap. Well, he might have been involved in the wreck coming to the checkers.
Right.
Yeah,
and sliding across the.
but he was dropping like a rock anyway.
I know he was dropping like a rock, but I didn't know he'd drop that far.
He very well could have, but again, yeah. Then
Actually, that'd be good to see. Who was in that last wreck?
Say,
We never actually.
probably everybody outside the top 10. Tell me I'm wrong. But yeah, then you had Brendan Poole, Harrison Burton, Brad Keselowski, Austin Dillon, Ty Gibbs, your next 5, and then your final 3 being Hocevar, Yaley, and Chastain. Pretty much all these drivers just out with incidents throughout the race. J.J. Yaley, I think it was a mechanical. The rest of them were involved in crashes. Keselowski, Dillon, Gibbs, and Hocevar all out in that one big crash. Harrison Burton, actually, he may have been running at the finish, but he got significant damage in that same wreck as well. Yeah, with the other cars there. So, any other drivers you wanted to mention from that end of the list?
No.
Aside from blaming Chastain again for that wreck.
No, I think I'm not actually blaming Chastain. I am actually blaming Busch on that one.
Okay.
I after looking at it again, I think Busch went down and hit the back end of Chastain's car, which turned him, sending him up to the top of the track.
Chastain did hit him first, though, which Chastain went up and hit Kyle's car first, and then Kyle went down and hit Chastain's car on the replay. At least that's what I saw.
Okay.
But, okay.
We did go over 2,500 views. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Toby Co., where did Busch finish? He finished 26th place in the race. Where did Larson finish? Larson came in... Where was he? He was 15th or so. 16th. 16th was Larson. And Alex Bowman comes home 29th. Last car on the lead lap after the big wreck at the end, but I think that's pretty much everything here from Talladega, so unless you got anything else you want to add. And I say we haven't seen playoff standings on the screen, but who knows how long they may wait to do that. Probably going to wait to try and wait till the end of the NBC window to encourage people to pay for Peacock to get the post-race.
That's a great trophy.
Yeah, that is a pretty cool trophy. think it'd be cooler if they had a statue of the winning driver shirtless out there. But, yeah. So, Ryan Blaney, though, he will be in the round of 8 in 2 weeks' time at Vegas. Of course, we'll be with you guys in Charlotte next weekend, so we won't be here, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. Okay, the LTX wanted Harvick to win so bad. I think everybody was rooting for Harvick there near the end.
I was rooting for Harvick.
Especially for the retirement tour, but so that's Blaney's 9th career win already. Nice job. And hey, you know what? The last time Blaney won, you and I were sitting about this far apart in the grandstands.
Yep.
So, hey, maybe we should watch some of these some more. So, oh yeah, we knew the finish wasn't going to be clean, gamers. I don't think anybody had any illusion that the finish was going to be clean.
No.
And now they're talking with Bubba Wallace, but again, they aren't going to show the playoff standings for a while. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, leave a like on the video, subscribe if you guys are new, so you guys don't miss any future videos or live streams. Again, we do these types of streams all throughout the NASCAR season, but until next time, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next video, live stream, whatever you guys decide to do with the rest of your day. Have a great day, everybody, and goodbye! That was a long one.